Please be respectful of their decisions.
All right, folks, here we are. Final regular season game for the Troy Trojans. Last district game, last home game on this field for the seniors. Y'all just saw we had a separate feed to bring you senior night. So first off, shout out to all the senior football players, cheerleaders, band members, and I mean cross country, volleyball. I mean, it's not just what's going on Friday night, but one thing I noticed, I was impressed with the number of athletes that are involved with UIL tonight. I mean, that's pretty impressive from the senior class. But anyway, got Brett beside me again tonight, Robin behind the camera. Brett, maybe took 10 games, but we got football weather.
we do. A little chilly. Actually, no, this is perfect. Like this isn't too chilly. It'll probably cool off a little bit as the night goes on, but yeah, no, this is the kind of weather that we would have dreamed of back in August when we started the season. And it's so cool to hear you say final regular season game, and you have to preface it with regular season because, and we'll get to this later in the night, but we have some playoff prognostications to get to, and we pretty much know who our first round opponent is likely to be, and we'll be able to confirm that, if not by end of game, then by probably midnight on Trojan Nation, because I know Kyle will go home and get started on all that.
Well, we got Brandon keeping up,
and we do.
San Antonio with he's going to be watching the Yoakum.
He's already sending the scores because Cameron and Academy actually are playing for 3rd and 4th in our district tonight, and they kicked off at 5 o'clock today to try to beat some of this weather, which hopefully we've avoided. But we'll see. It is a little windy. That's really the only thing we're going to have to work with. But it's been this windy at some games this year, so I think we're going to be fine. Just going back to senior night really quick, it's so nice to see that many. You mentioned that many seniors involved in UIL, but that many seniors involved in, you're talking football, cheerleading, band. They've been involved 6 years in those programs, and possibly longer with just the way that some of those things get started these days. To see that level of commitment and dedication by these seniors is just really neat to see, and to see them walk out with their parents and loved ones is really cool. But Kyle, I have kind of a, since this is our 10th game of the season, I came up with a little bit of a top 10 to go through, but do you have anything you want to talk about first?
Not really. Before you get on that, just shout out to Trojan Volleyball on another season. They got into the playoffs. They just ran into a good Franklin team last night, but a lot of people might know. I was talking to a few people at the game.
Superintendent of Schools Neil Cheater.
You can get on Max Preps, look at the Franklin volleyball roster, and all of a sudden, what sticks out at you? Out of the 14 players, 11 were seniors. I mean, for volleyball, that is a lot of seniors. But anyway, just shout out to Coach Maylock and the Trojanettes. I mean, they continue the tradition of going to the playoffs. And
winning in the playoffs.
And and winning there. And I know we'll be there again next year. And then shout out to Grayson Williams. I'm pretty sure that's probably the highest finish we've ever had a Troy athlete in state cross country. He came home with a silver medal. And I mean, that's falling on the heels of Carlos Cortez last year that did great things at state. And then the band, 3rd year in a row, second year. Used to, UIL only allowed them to go every other year. This year it started they could go every year. So 2 years in a row now we've been to the state marching contest. So shout out to the mighty Trojan band. All right, Brandon, me and Brett texted a lot on Friday. Y'all say, where does Brett get a lot of this stuff to come up with? But I'll tell you what, he digs around, he does research, Brandon's doing research, and we're communicating all during the day Friday, try to just let y'all know what's going on, like who we might play next week, stuff like that. But anyway, Brett was talking today on, he thinks the success of this season, he had his own top 10 list. So let's hear it, Brett. I'm ready.
So it's going to end with and kind of dovetail into a playoff discussion, but I will just mention really quickly, and Kyle's right, we do talk about this all the time, and this is the standard is the standard. What we want as a community, as a culture, not only with sports, but with excellence in the classrooms and throughout the school district. Just Friday Night Lights is just one way to view that, and I think the product that the the boys have put on the field this year has been tremendous. It's been so fun to watch, and it spoke to me, and it made me want to kind of come up with just some highlights to really hit on as we're kind of wrapping up the regular season tonight. So first things first, number 10, the coaching. And I say coaching at 10, and this, if you were to order it, I think it would probably fall much higher, but I will start with coaching because even the coaches would tell you that at the end of the day, the boys got to make plays, so they can only do so much. But we've talked about it in games, we've talked about it pregame and postgame, we've talked about it coming out of halftime. Halftime adjustments, game preparation, game planning has taken a real step up this year. You see it in, their penalties abound in these high school games, and sometimes that's just the Zebras kind of playing a larger part than they have to. But the coaching from Coach Brashear all the way down to all the assistants is part of the standard that is creating this excellent product that you see on the field. And so if you see these coaches around town or after games, like, tell them a great job. Please tell them what a great job that they're doing, because again, this wouldn't be possible without that happening. So shout out to all the coaches. Number 9, specifically Coach Smith, as offensive coordinator, some of the offensive play designs that you've seen this year, and the new wrinkles that we continue to kind of unfold week after week. Last week in particular, you saw in the backfield Lucky and Fryman flanking McMurtry, running curls, taking dives, blocking for one another, setting pre-snap motion. Like, there's a lot of different looks that we can offer, and just to watch those plays unfold and to watch those wrinkles continuing to be added into the mix is just cool to see. I'm sure we're going to see some new ones tonight and undoubtedly into the playoffs and beyond. Number 8, sticking with offense here, the evolution of the running game this year. And a lot of that credit goes to, obviously, Lucky, who's landed the most of that yardage, but the offensive line. Coach Bolin has had a full year to really work, full off season to work with these boys to showcase the depth, because one thing that we've had to deal with, as all teams have to deal with, are injuries. We've been able to plug in new people on the line, new people on both sides of the ball and on special teams everywhere. But the evolution of the running game has just been tremendous, and just watching Lucky too, like, always fall forward. I mean, part of that is the push the line gets a lot of times. You see Tuck sustain blocks like until the whistle, maybe a little bit after. And then to see Lucky as our leading, I don't know how many rushing touchdowns we had last year, but I know that Lucky's leading the team in yes, total touchdowns this year. So just the running game, it's just such a balanced offense this year. Number 7, shout out to Coach Durbin on the defensive side of the ball. It's a complete defensive overhaul this year when you look at how many new playmakers we have on that side of the ball, including a lot of underclassmen, and we'll get to that in a bit. But he's even shown wrinkles in the defense with the depth that he can play at corner at times, with how we've run a 4-3, we've shifted to a 3-4. The speed at the inside linebacker position, the size and pursuit that we have on the edge, Calhoun's emergence at nose tackle, and then just everything on defense. Just winning the turnover battle a lot of times speaks to the level of, like, technical execution. And I've argued, like, yes, we give up a lot of yards, but this is Texas high school football. Everybody's going to gain yards. We just have to get to third downs, and when we get to third downs, we're great. So we just have to force the issue there. And then also with Coach Durbin specifically, halftime adjustments, the halftime adjustments that he made in that Franklin game specifically, and how we came out in that third quarter, stuff of legend. Number 6, the underclassmen, we'll talk about seniors here in a bit, but all the underclassmen that have already had such a huge impact this year in the games, and going back to the first game of the season, but we talked about it, and I still remember it. We're on the road, 4A school, second game of the season, and Bogosh makes the game-winning tackle to end a series, and then we get to go into victory formation. So we have sophomores making plays. In the middle of the defense, just to give you kind of the diamond of the defense there, just think about it, is all sophomores. You have Calhoun, Bogosh, Summer, and Jessic.
Bogosh is a junior. I'm
Bogosh
sorry.
is a junior.
Yeah.
Okay. Still, underclassmen, new people making plays this year. So just the playmaking element of all these new faces on defense, of which there are 10 new official starters this year. Even though Valdez did get a lot of time last year, and he's been like amazing, leading the team with 7 interceptions. Has been great. And then Milton is one of the returning starters too, in terms of just setting the edge on the outside. Dalton tackling in space, like some of the seniors, what they're doing on defense is great. But again, a great job by Durbin to really completely overhaul that with so many new faces on that side of the ball. Number 5, I feel like this is like 5, like the 12 days of Christmas. 5 special teams. Such a very special teams, to say the least, and every single phase of it, like the kickoff coverage that we have, the pursuit that we have, the kickoff return unit is one of the most dangerous units anytime we step on the field and in the area.
Ladies and gentlemen,
because field position has never been anything that we've had to think twice about this whole year.
Hello, my name is Kate Sugone, and I'm a sophomore at Troy High School. Please bow your heads and pray with me. Dear Lord, thank you for allowing us to gather here today to play this amazing game we all know and love. I thank you for your many blessings and pray in your name for safety among the players, coaches, fans, and officials here tonight. I thank you that we can call upon your name in times of trouble and heartache. Thank you for always hearing us and providing us with your love and sacrificing your Son to pay for our sins. Lord, I am thankful for this great country we live in. Let us never take our freedom for granted. Thank you for everyone who has served or is currently serving to keep this nation safe. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. The McGregor High School band will be played by the Bulldogs. Will play the Bulldogs school song.
So we're going to do the school songs, but I'll get back to the top 5 here as the game moves on, because there are some other points that I really want to hit on, and it'll all lead to what's going to culminate into the playoff push that we're trending towards here. So here are the school songs.
Now the mighty Trojan Marching Band and the Troy High School song.
All right, Brett, we'll try to get the top 5 before we get the teams out here for the national anthem.
When the teams return to the field.
So,
fans, you're invited to form
yeah,
the
so special teams has just been
the field house to the
a game changer in so many ways, and field position has been something we've never had to worry about all season long, and I doubt that that's really going to change even in the
We would like
playoffs.
to recognize our
So it's just
talented
great to know
chain
that
crew
that
and
is a
box
phase of the
operator.
game. And
They
we talked
spent
about the depth of
hours
it
in
too.
anticipation
We've had 3
of,
different
and
kickers
even a
kick
little while in
PATs as an
preparation
example.
for this very evening.
We've
They
recovered,
with
I don't know
valor,
how many
honor,
onside kicks,
and dedication hold the chains
and then
and
scores
flag
on
the
punt
down
return and
indicator
kickoff return
with
this year
flawless accuracy
has been
after
great.
each and
Number
every
4,
play.
just
I
the
give you
attitude
Daniel
and
Kemp,
confidence of this
Jimmy
team. I would
Lewis,
say that if there's an
Richard
identity to
Attell,
this particular
Stephen
team,
Taylor,
and every team is
and
a little bit
Michael
different,
Lewis.
it's
There are several people on the upper
just
level of the
a never
press
give
box
up
that work
sort of
throughout the
attitude.
game to
And
enhance
that's
your
been
enjoyment.
showcased in 4
They're
games
never
where we've
seen or
had
heard, but without them,
double-digit
things would not
deficits,
be
and
the
we've had to
same.
come back in those.
Dennis Smith
3
operates
of those
the game
on the
clock.
road.
Unfortunately, this evening the play clock
And
is inoperable.
one of those really in
Herndon
a
is in charge
very
of the
meaningful
scoreboard data.
second game in
Jamie
district in
Boyd provides
Cameron with a few
defensive
players
spotting.
injured.
Gene Thigpen is our
Get down by
statistician.
10.
Thank
Don't
you,
know
ladies
exactly
and
how that's
gentlemen,
going to
for
go.
your
You don't want to start off
support
0-2 in
of
district, and then we
football.
just come back with a vengeance
Yes.
in terms of, and you can always tell it on the sidelines too. The boys never feel as though they're out. The coaches are always calm, cool, and collected, and just level-headed in terms of, I mean, sometimes they're barking at the refs when they need to be barked at, but like for the most part, it's just, it's a very intense but controlled environment there on the sidelines. So the boys just, they know how to fight, and that's going to pay dividends ultimately in the playoffs. Number 3, shout out to the Trojan fans.
Yes.
The fans are here tonight again. We've seen it all throughout the season, home and away. It's just really cool to see so many people active. I know just even those who aren't able to attend live, we've had some record counts on Trojan Nation just with views. I know with Franklin in particular, I think we had, even though that being a home game, had over 500 streaming views live while it's happening. So, and I believe that game, because I've gone back onto YouTube video, like that game's had over, I think, 2,500 total views. And again, I would argue that third quarter, just talking about the team's identity too, that third quarter is the best quarter we've played all year. We string 4 of those together, and sky's the limit with this team. Number 2, and we touched on it before the game, but the senior impacts. The seniors can walk off this field tonight and into the playoffs and beyond knowing that they eclipsed, while they were in high school, while varsity was going on, their freshman year, varsity won 2 games. Sophomore year, varsity won 2 games. And last year, as juniors, this varsity won 4 games. And this year, tonight, they can eclipse that total by a game with more to come in the playoffs. So just let that sink in, how quick of a turnaround. And this goes up to Brashear, too, just compliments to him and the staff. But for the boys, too, to not only win, but these are such fun games to watch. Like, if you are here in person, or if you're watching at home, or you're rewatching at home, hopefully you're getting out of your seat and you're yelling along with us. I know I yell sometimes during the broadcast. And then finally, playoffs. You win to play the game, right? And Kyle, and I have the timestamp, so we won't release it tonight, but maybe here in a couple weeks, just to show how accurate he was, because after that Franklin game, Kyle goes home and goes down the rabbit hole of what it would potentially take to get a rematch with Franklin, and what that would look like. And this is not counting any chickens before they hatch, because there's a lot of work to be done tonight to just kind of fine-tune things, and certainly in the weeks to come in the playoffs, and hopefully we get to count those several weeks over. But it starts one week at a time, and to know that these boys, these fans, this team, this school, this town gets to go to the playoffs is a really cool thing. Yeah, Texas high school football is 4 teams out of the district get to go, and we've missed out on this feeling for a while. They clinched the playoffs 3 weeks ago.
That's what I was looking at today, Brett. Last year, I believe it was week 7, we lost a halftime lead Rockdale,
Here comes
and we sort of
McGregor Bulldogs
couldn't get everything to fall back into place right. Needed a lot of help from district opponents. Need to take care of business ourselves. Neither one actually panned out.
But the boys fought hard last year. I remember that even that lightning delay up in Lorena, we got up on them 14-0, and they were district champs in their place.
Yeah. But this year, week 8, we had already clinched the playoff spot.
Yeah.
And last week, we clinched the number 2 seed. And, I mean, it's refreshing to play your last game of the season. No stress. We have nothing. I mean, nothing to lose. We can go out and play loose.
Here come the boys.
Okay, we're Trojan players. They got a ritual now where they go down to about the 30-yard line on the end of the flag and take a knee. So I like that.
And there's a lot more boys out there tonight because we have a lot of the JV. It seems like a lot of the JV players suiting up with varsity tonight.
And
Ladies
I love
and gentlemen,
that.
Would you please rise?
So we're going to have the national anthem. We'll be
to
back with a
America
couple quick topics, and we'll have
the men
kickoff
and
for you.
women who keep it the land of the free and the home of the brave, the mighty Trojan Band under the direction of Mr. Rustin Honeycutt, and our national anthem. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated.
Okay, we're fixing to have the coin toss, but Brett touched on it. We had a lot moved up. Freshman game ended up getting canceled last night against Belton because Belton schools, some of them moved their games up a night in anticipation of the weather. So our freshman and JV combined, well, we took that opportunity to move some of the guys up to experience the Friday night lights, get them ready for the playoffs, and we will see a lot of them during the playoffs as well. So it's sort of like, okay, we got number 2 seed clinch. We want to win this game. You want to go into the playoffs on a winning note, but the thing is, you don't want any of your starters to get hurt. So I expect to see a lot of these players in maybe late in the game. Hopefully we have a nice lead. We can get them in, get some Friday night experience. You got the toss, Brett.
Yeah, we got the toss here. We got McKissick, let's see, McGregor, Tinoco, and Tuck out there.
The captains for the visiting Bulldogs, Bubba Zacharias, number 7, Bucky Brown, number 88, Lucas Vance, number 79, and Michael Dan, number 70. For the Troy Trojans, number 15, Micah McKissick, number 52, JoJo Gold, number 56, George Dalton, and number 84, Angel Tinoco.
So McGregor won. They deferred.
McGregor won the toss and has deferred their choice.
So they're going to kick,
half.
and Troy's going to receive
receive
on the south end.
South end of the field. Trojan fans, are you ready for some football?
We are. Yes.
Bulldog fans, are you ready for some football? Let's play ball.
So here we go. We talked about it pregame. We seem to always talk about it, but this kickoff return unit is dangerous from every level. Like, we've seen how good we are just from a hands unit on the first level. The second level is able to return. We've seen that, like even last week when they tried to kick it short, like we're able to take a little squib kick and return it 10, 15 yards. And then if you kick it deep, we've got wrinkles we've shown there.
We're getting Brett straight up here. He mics up for somebody else that they just do on their own, so he was getting that mic put on. But you talked about that breaking your top 10. We had 3 special team returns for a touchdown and 4 interceptions.
And here we go, the kick. McGregor's got a kicker there. That goes back to, it's going to be fielded at the 2-yard line by Cohen Ketchum, and he's going to take it out to our sideline, and good coverage by McGregor there. He only gets back out to the 16-yard line. So Troy's going to take over 1st and 10. And for those of you watching, you'll notice that number 1 is back out on the field here. So Reed Ketchum taking a snap. He's been out in recent weeks, recovering from an injury sustained in the Franklin game. But right now you've got, let's see, Cohen Ketchum and Hill to the left, Reed Ketchum and Smith up to the right, Lucky in the backfield, McMurtry in shotgun. They're setting the ball. Troy's going to start 1st and 10 at their own 16 with 11:53 left to go in the first. Let's see if we come out with a big play first. It's going to be an RPO over to the right side, and it's to Reed, and he's going to get about 1 yard on the play. It was kind of a low pass, and of course, great hands by Reed, able to get it. And that was a great block by Smith on the edge, too. But McGregor just kind of pursued through it and was able to stuff him for just a gain of 1 on the play. So here we go. We're going to come out trips left this time. Nobody's covering up Reed there. He's going to run it out, and he's going to take it and turn it upfield and get out of bounds. And look at Hill down there blocking at the 40-yard line. So a nice little play where when we go out trips left like that and nobody's covering up Reed, he just sneaks out on a quick out route, picks up a 23 on the play. So we're out to the 40-yard line. We're running with a kind of middle tempo here. This is going to be a give to Lucky around the right side, and he cuts it out even further.
Oh.
And he's going to pick up about 20 yards on the play, and he's going to lower the boom right before he exits out of bounds right in front of their bench.
Troy earning a 1st down. Cameron Duncan on the stop.
And wow, it's a lot of boys on the sideline for us. I'm glancing at their sideline and then ours, and it's a lot. This time, Reed's in motion. It's going to be a pure option, but McMurtry's going to fall forward for 4. And that was the right read, too.
Yes.
Because Reed, even though he was going wide there, he had kind of an outside backer pursuing him. So McMurtry cuts it up, picks up a good gain of 4 on 1st down. And the thing about the offense, too, when we come out with these scripted series in the first quarter of the games, we're so under control. So under control. Yes. We end up eating clock up because there's no incomplete passes like when we're moving the ball like this. So we have twins right, twins left, Lucky to McMurtry's right. McMurtry's either calling out a protection or an audible there. He's going to throw out to Smith, who's going to try to cut it upfield, but he's going to be brought down for no gain on the play.
No gain on that play, bringing up a 3rd and 6. Bucky Brown on the tackle.
So here we go, 3rd and 6. feels like we're maybe in 4-down territory here, just based on where we are in the field.
I feel that too. But Brett, we've already showed what RPO, a regular pass route pattern,
a straight up option, read option,
and then lucky
with a correct read and lucky. McMurtry rolls out to his left, and he's going to find Ketchum, and Hill with a block immediately. Great job by Hill, blocking through the whistle there.
They pick up 15 yards and a first down for the Trojans.
We got trips right this time. He's looking to attack single coverage.
Oh, wow.
So the Trojan fans don't even have to wait 3 minutes into the first quarter. They get what they want, first touchdown of the game. That was a double move by Cohen. You could tell that trips right was really just a decoy. They wanted the single coverage over here, and it was just a simple out and up and perfect pass, perfect catch. The snap and hold is good, and Tinoco puts that extra point through to make it 7-0 Troy with 9:10 left in the first quarter. But such a fluid, he kind of ran it like almost like a wheel route there. And then just the ball is right there, the back of the end zone to get it in. But that was a 40-yard passing catch? 21.
Okay. Great. What do you want to start at?
Oh, because we had moved it down the play before when Hill was blocking out in front of Reed there. That's right.
Quick stat, McMurtry 5 for 5 for 60 yards to 3 different receivers. McMurtry on the read option kept the 4-yard rush and Lucky with the 20-yard rush.
Yeah. You talk about offensive efficiency. Our offensive efficiency, especially in the first quarter this season, is off the charts. But even just then, like what we put on film for opposing teams, example Yoakum in the first round, to have to study and prep for, it's a lot. So Tinoco kicks off from the right hash, and it's going to be high. It's going to go down to about the 20. It's going to be fielded by McGregor and brought down by Milton. Bogosh there to finish off at the end too. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love that we have so many defensive players on the kickoff unit because it just gets them into the flow of just game speed a little bit going into each defensive series after we score, that is. So McGregor out for their first offensive possession of the game. 9:02 left to go in the first. Troy 7, McGregor 0. And we have 5 walked up to the line of scrimmage. Dalton backs off a little bit, and it's going to be a give. Gooch brings down their running back after a gain of about 20 on the play, but it's going to be a horse tackle collar, so they're going to end up tacking on 15 more yards. So McGregor's going to get into plus territory after just one play. And it seemed like what happened is we had a push with our 4-down linemen there, and they just it was a delayed give almost to their back, and then the backside just opened up. And they were able to push it wide, and again, the personal foul tacked onto it moves it all the way down to the Trojan 35. So 1st and 10 for McGregor. Their quarterback sets up and goes deep. Gooch in coverage there. Looks like they had run just a straight post route from the outside to the right there. It looked like he was open enough. I don't know why he didn't try to make an effort to actually dive for the ball there. But it's going to bring up 2nd and 10. McGregor with trips right, and they have a big tight end out there, kind of running Great tackle by Bogosh there to kind of shoestring tackle there. Brings up second. It's going to be 3rd and 5 here. And McGregor knows what they're up against here, so this is going to be 4-down territory here. I wouldn't be surprised if they kept it on the ground here because they've been able to. I've watched it. Their line has been able to kind of stand ours up a little bit, so we're just going to have to go for a push there, and we get one there, and that's going to end up being it's going to be pushed wide. It's going to be a tackle for loss there. Tuck and Dalton in on it. Oh, they did. They gave him forward progress on that. I was kind of watching him swing him around like a rag doll there, but it's going to bring up 4th and a long 2. So huge play for the defense here. They're allowing us to get in motion here. We were running on and off personnel there, kind of last minute. Looks like we were bringing in different corners in case they were passing, but they ended up just giving it right up the middle there, and they run a kind of a 11 personnel with a big tight end there. And I think they're going to try to power it in from this point on. I don't know if we'll see many more passes here. I think they're smart. They do want to stretch us out, and they want to pull us out a little bit wide, but I'd even be surprised if they throw like a bubble screen or anything here. I think this is going to be mostly a keeper by the quarterback or a handoff. This is going to be a handoff to their number 5, and he's going to be stopped right there, probably for no gain or maybe even a loss of a half yard on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3. Ball's on the 11-yard line. And you got Hall, Calhoun, and Williams in there now on the line. Milton walked up, and Milton takes on that lead guard that was pulling there, and it allowed Bogosh to kind of shoot the gap. Great tackle there. So it's going to bring up a 4th and 3 here, and McGregor looks like they're not going to try to just take a field goal and try to put some points on the board. They're going to try to punch this in, so it'll be a huge stop for the defense here, which has played really good in the red zone all season long. Looks like they flinch, so there's going to back them up 5 here, and we'll see what they do here. We know they have a kicker. We saw what the kicker did on the initial kickoff. He kicked it to the goal line, but I think McGregor knows too that points are going to be at a premium here if they get in the red zone, but it looks like they're putting their field goal unit in, and this was the kicker. So he brings out the tee. This is going to be a 33-yard try. Let's see if we go for the block here. The kick is up and good, and they've got a kicker. We saw it on the kickoff, and we saw it there displayed on a 33-yard kick that would have been good from another 20 yards maybe. So that's going to make the score Troy 7, McGregor 3. But the defense, and we've talked about this before, the defense does such a great job when they get teams in 3rd down situations. It would have been interesting to see what would have happened on that 4th and 3 there, because again, one thing that this defense has done is they've given up some big chunk plays this year, but they've also really fortified themselves whenever they get in the red zone and their backs are against the wall. But just even there, so many different personnel that we've run in just on defense, even here on that first series. So we can have, and just so y'all know, a score did go final. So Cameron 35, Academy 31. They kicked off at 5 o'clock tonight due to the inclement weather that was heading in. So that's going to lock up Cameron in 3rd place in the district, and Academy will sneak into the playoffs with 2 wins on the season or 3 wins on the season. 3. Okay. Here we go. McGregor set to kick off from the center, and this is going to go out the back of the end zone. So Troy's going to take over on their own 25-yard line. And just to track who we're going to be matching up against potentially, it's going to be the winner of the Yoakum-Hallettsville game, and that score is Yoakum 7, Hallettsville 0 currently. So we'll keep y'all updated on that one, because I know we all want to know who we're going to end up playing next week. But first things first, we have McGregor in front of us here, and opportunity to really work on some things. We sent Lucky in motion, and we ran kind of a quick screen out to the right. And that's a give to Fryman out there. So you had Fryman. We saw that formation last week where you had Fryman and Lucky both flanking McMurtry in the backfield. That time, it was a quick motion. It wasn't pre-snap motion. It was just a reformatting of the formation. It was just getting them out to the right really quickly in that tight bunch diamond formation. This time we have twins left. We have Fryman and Lucky in the backfield. And there's going to be a jump by us on the line. Looks like it was going to be a give to Fryman there.
Golf start against the Trojan. It cost him 5 yards. So instead of 2nd and 2, it will be 2nd.
So that's going to back us up 5. It's going to make it 2nd and 7 here. Ball on the 28-yard line. Feels like it's maybe already dropped a degree. It'll probably drop a few more before the night's over, but still feels good out here.
Oh, they can't hear me say that. So you're just saying, tell them.
I'm talking. He took his mic off though. And while I want the Trojan fans to be heard here. Fun little celebration there. I think Robin was able to capture that. 72-yard passing catch. Perfect against the wind. Perfect pass by McMurtry. We talked about that earlier. I think the wind, I mean, we talk about this team though, and we know this, the entire baseball team is basically down there on the sideline. We know that. The kick is up and good by Tinoco. He throws such a pretty deep ball. Reed had to push it a little bit to catch up with it there, but to your point too, to throw that into the wind, that accurate. I'm having a conversation with Kyle here. I know y'all can't hear Kyle, but still, 72 yards on the passing catch, and it just, I'm so glad that Reed is able to get back out here on senior night to make these impactful plays. He's making up for lost time quick, and just so great to know that we have him going into the playoffs. And real quick shout out to him. He's been on varsity 4 years. He got moved up shortly into his freshman campaign, and that was about the time I moved back to Troy with the family. And just I have associated varsity football and the passing game specifically with Reed ever since I moved back. It's going to be sad to see him go, but thankful he's got a couple more games in front of him, at least in the playoffs. Tinoco set to kick off from the right hash. And it's going to be a squib kick down to the left side. It's going to be fielded at the 25. And Valdez, I think, was first to make contact there, but you had Bogosh, Fryman, Summer, Lucky. Everybody tries to get a piece, like, because you never know what's going to happen if the ball comes loose. Like, we over pursue, but we never get out of position, if that makes sense. Like on the kickoff unit, like we are flying through our lanes and to the ball. And that's a great kick by Tinoco too, like that squib kick, like make them field it cleanly, and he did, to his credit there, and was able to get about 10 on the return, because that went down to about the 25. 1st and 10 for McGregor from their own 39. Single back, and it's going to be a give around the left side. Great job by Lopez Rodriguez, who kind of blew it up in the backfield, and then Bogosh kind of first to make contact there, but just even the pursuit from the backside there, like everybody tries to fight off and follow the ball on every single play. Because that's the thing, and we saw it in Rockdale last week. A play is never over. We saw plays kind of boomerang around both sides of the field. Quarterback's going to pull it down and throw a deep slant. And their receiver is going to get all the way into the end zone. It's going to be, I think, a 61-yard touchdown there. Single coverage there by McKissick on the backside, and he catches it and is able to get loose and then has some speed on top of that because we were pursuing at that point too. And just another update on the Yoakum score. Yoakum 14, Hallettsville 0 in the middle of the second quarter. So it feels like in a lot of ways, just based on scores I've seen come in, we had one of the later kickoffs today. So we might be one of the last ones to officially close the books on the regular season here. So. So McGregor set to kick off again. I know that must feel good for them to be able to get a touchdown after having stalled out last time down in the red zone, but McGregor's moved the ball both times. And again, that's what you want to see by the defense here. As we've talked about it, we've seen their third down conversion rate in terms of what they hold opposing offenses to is decent. What they've done coming out in the second half after making adjustments at half has been really strong, but have had very sluggish first quarter starts, and we've seen it here again tonight, something that is certainly going to have to be cleaned up heading into the playoffs next week. McGregor set to kick off again. This time it's going to be fielded by Cohen Ketchum. They're going to give the handoff to Lucky, and he's going to take his time, and he isn't able to squeeze up past the 30. He had a wall kind of set up in front of him there. But you can tell we've seen that on the books. I almost think, though, the play there was for Cohen to keep it. It looked like this side was less over-pursued by some of the lanes that McGregor's kickoff unit was remaining disciplined in, but who knows? That's just me. Here we go. We're kind of in a tight bunch formation here on the right hash. McMurtry in shotgun. And this is going to be a screen out to Lucky in the flat. Actually, behind the line of scrimmage, that's going to be a loss of 4 on the play. Maybe a loss of 5. It's going to bring up second and long.
And one Trojan. And also 5 yards, making it second and 15.
We have trips right, Lucky in the backfield, Cohen Ketchum down here, set up inside the 20-yard line. He's got single coverage here. I feel like whenever we get single coverage, and we don't want to exploit it every time, but you feel good about our odds with this receiving core whenever we have single coverage. But this is actually going to be, that was just a quick in route by Reed Ketchum, and that was one of McMurtry's darts that he threw as opposed to kind of laying it out with a lot of air for Reed to run under, but I like that play design too. And you saw, I don't know if you saw, but Cohen doesn't even come off the line of scrimmage there because he doesn't want his defender to back up at all. And so it opens up like that play. If it develops right, he catches it on like the left hash according to where McMurtry is, and then Reed just takes it down the sideline right in front of our fans. Really cool play design. Twins left, twins right. Play clock is off right now. I couldn't see how much time was on the play clock, and they had a free rush there, and we didn't pick it up on the backside there. So that's another loss on the play. So a sack by McGregor is going to bring up 4th and long. So we saw that McMurtry threw it into the wind pretty well. We'll see how he punts it into the wind. McGregor sends 2 back to receive the punt, and it is a good punt, and it's going to hit in between them, and it's going to roll, and Tuck was all the way down there to try to get to him.
Hey, there's a block in the back.
It looks like he stepped out of bounds there too. They threw a flag. There was you had Summer and Valdez there pursuing right in front of our bench there. Tuck was one of the first ones down there. And they bounce it out our side, but yeah, it's going to be a block in the back, so it's going to back them up. So with 2:10 left to go, we're going to take a commercial break really quick and come back for more action here in the first. Okay, here we go, 1st and 10 after the penalty. That's going to back them up into their own territory. So McGregor 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Defense takes the field again. They've given up 2 big long drives so far, 1 stalled out in the red zone. Let's see if we can get a 3 and out here. McGregor taking their time. They have 3 different coaches signaling in place for them. And I've noticed our play clocks aren't on tonight, so I haven't been able to call out the play clock. McGregor to pass, and it's a double move up down the left side. Gooch in coverage and is able to get a hand up at the last minute. That ball might have been out of bounds anyway.
Pass was intended for Bubba Zacharias, incomplete.
So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10, 2:04 left in the first.
2nd and 10. Michael McKissick defending.
Great job by Milton on the pursuit there. Milton went up on the edge there, kind of set the edge, realized he wasn't going to be able to bat it down or anything, and then pursues and brings down the defender, brings him down without pushing him forward any either. So 3rd and 4, and this is going to be a give up the middle. And it's going to be a late hit. It's going to be a late hit by Tuck and Dalton, tackling a McGregor player all the way out here on the track. You got to see when you're out of bounds there, because that's just going to move it all the way down inside the 20 again. So McGregor with great field position. And we have just not matched. So McGregor comes in here with just 1 win on the season, but we've talked about it all season. Like, these are high school boys, but they got pride. These teams have pride. They have seniors on their side. But I will say this, like, they come in with 1 loss on the season. They seem to have some size out there. And we have not matched their physicality. Like we saw it a couple plays ago when Milton comes out and breaks out wide in pursuit and brings down quickly, but we've given up the edge in some of those inside angles, and then in the secondary we've got to make much better tackles here. Looks like Porter's in on defense now at corner. This is going to be a quarterback's going to keep it and actually pass a little bit high on a slant route there.
Pass intended for Dominic Madron, Incomplete.
Looked like that was Gooch in coverage there. So Gooch and Valdez kind of over there playing, essentially playing man to the wide receiver and the slot receiver over there. This time McGregor's going to come out, trips right. They're bunched in kind of on the right hash here. Let's see if they use the wide side of the field. They don't. They give it right up the middle. And great job by the line there. Milton, Calhoun, Hall there too to make the stop.
Number 22 on the carry. Ball at the 11-yard line after the 1-yard pickup. 3rd down and 9 for McGregor.
So McGregor out again, big 3rd down play. And it's going to be, the quarterback's going to keep it. There you go. Great job, great coverage, great pressure on the quarterback. Yeah, Dalton. Milton was in there too, though. They both kind of sandwiched it from the edges there. So they're going to bring out the field goal unit to try to sneak within 1 point here. Gooch in coverage there, and Gooch had the inside leverage on him. The pass a little bit high to pull in for their receiver. Got to be careful here. Let's see. 28-yard field goal attempt by McGregor. We know this guy has a leg. He's already put one through, and this is up and good too. He can kick. Yeah, this is one of the best kickers we've seen all season. So we're going to stay here through the change of possession here while Troy looks to take the field again with kickoff return. So last time we saw, we'll see what they do in terms of how they kick it deep. Last time it looked like they made an effort, knowing that their kicker can kick it through the back of the end zone. They made an effort to kick it in front of Cohen over there. And then we did the kind of the end around reverse, which always scares me, even though I know we have so much speed on the back line. But when we go backwards there, we're inside the 5-yard line to make that handoff. I hold my breath for a whole half second. We have another score on Yoakum, just so you know. Yoakum 20, Hallettsville 6 from Brandon Payne in the command center. So here we go, McGregor to kick off again. And he doesn't use right or left hash. He's kicked off from the center every single time here. So McGregor to kick off. Troy 14, McGregor 13. And this one is also going to go in the end zone, which I think is what you do there, because that one also had height on it in addition to, and what we've done, I don't know if you noticed there, but like our first level is up where they normally are. Second level is scooted up. Our back level, I think, is back deep, but they're almost baiting them to kick it in the middle because they know the speed at which they can come up, catch it, and kind of be at full speed, and then kind of read blocks as they go. But yeah, that time Valdez just kind of let it go over his head, which I think was the right read. We're going to start out on the 25-yard line here. Trips right, Lucky in the backfield. Cohen catch him out to the left. Reed catch him in motion. And it's going to be a give to Lucky. And he's going to be, they wrapped him up around the legs, so he couldn't really go anywhere. He's going to pick up about maybe 2 on the play, maybe 3 on the play. So 2nd and 7 after a gain of 3.
To the 28-yard line, 2nd and 7.
Reed in motion again, this time in front of McMurtry. McMurtry's going to roll out to the right, and he's going to throw deep. And that was just one of those timing routes. And again, we talked about it in my top 10 list prior to the game starting, but offensive play design, and that one there, sending him in motion and sending him on a deep route, like just allows him to build up his speed and then take a backer with him. Like that's a play that we want to see. So we're going to go into the second quarter. We're going to go to commercial real fast, and we'll come back for more action. Okay, here we go. 3rd and 7, McMurtry in shotgun. It looks like there was maybe a jump at the line. Yeah, their corner actually hooked Smith on that deep end route. It's going to bring up 4th and 7, so we're going to bring up the punt unit again.
Okay.
And we haven't had to show this at all for any reason, but just look out there. Our punt unit has playmakers all over it. If it ever has to morph into a Mighty Morphin fake punt unit. McMurtry with a great punt there, and it's going to bounce in front, and he is going to let it go. One didn't know what to do there. It's going to roll inside the 25.
Ball rolls dead at the 23-yard line, and the Bulldogs will take over.
49-yard punt by McMurtry, so that one he had the wind at his back a little bit, but actually there's not a ton of wind here. So defense back out on the field. And defense has done a great job in the red zone twice to force field goals, but they've allowed 3 extended drives, and they've given up a lot of yards. I would say at this point, McGregor has possibly outgained us in terms of yardage. And has an opportunity here to stack more on top of it. So they're coming out. You can also tell that time of possession is something that they're mindful of as well, and they come out with that tight end again, and they jump there. Look at 88 too, though. They got size at the tight end position. You'll see him go out in the slot sometimes, and when he does, like, they just kind of run it around him on the edge. But here they have him opposite, trips right, and it looks like they'll probably stay in the same formation here.
Bulldogs will cost them 5 yards, so that'll make it 1st down and 15.
So legal motion backs McGregor up 5. They're going to have trips right, and they're going to get into it pretty fast. It looks like we were kind of blitzing there, and it's just going to be an easy passing catch. Going to pick up about 10 yards on the play. Summer comes over and makes a tackle immediately, but their inside slot receiver comes off, and nobody's on top of him. Nobody's covering him up, and he's able to just kind of go and sink 5 yards in down the field. Easy passing catch. Too easy. This is going to be a quarterback keeper, and we're not fooled at all. And that's going to be a loss of maybe 2 on the play. It's going to depend on how much forward progress they give him. They give him quite a bit, so it's only a loss of 1 on the play, but it brings up a big 3rd down.
3rd down and 3, yes, is 1 ball.
And we're going to see if we can stop them like they stopped us on 3rd down this past time. So McGregor to the line. Tight end to the right, single back, twins left. Oh, it was an inside slant. Valdez set on it perfect. Yeah, he jumped it. I mean, he jumped the route where number 2 even cut it off. Their receiver cut it off because he knew the 2 number 2s, they're there in ours. Yeah, and then the quarterback.
You see the ref from here all the way to get back into the rugby.
Okay, so one of the quarterbacks, or one of the refs has an arm here. Okay, we have Lucky and Cohen catching back deep to receive on the punt here, but it is 4th and 3. Anything could happen. And it is going to be a punt, and it's a high punt, and Lucky muffs it, tries to go up and catch it, kind of tries to catch it away from his body too, and just kind of bounced off his shoulder pads, and kind of right place, right time for the McGregor gunner who was over there. He was able to just fall on it.
At the 39-yard line of the Trojan.
And I will say this for whatever it's worth, the defense tends to do better in positions like this when there's kind of an unexpected change of possession like there is there on the turnover on special teams, to get right back out there, go to work. This is typically when they kind of do some of their best work. McGregor has a man in motion. It's going to be a get. Nope, it's a keeper. And Porter with a great tackle there brings him down for a gain of 3 on the play, but make him catch it in front of you like that, and then the pursuit has to be hot and heavy there. You got to bring him down fast, and he did. Great job by Porter there. Porter's kind of walked back into safety position there, but they got to be mindful. They have the tight end on that side if he releases, but he doesn't, and it's a give. Their running back kind of bobbles it, but regains control, and he's actually going to get enough for a first down here. Dalton and Bogosh on the stop. Tuck coming back in. Summer coming out for a play. So we have Porter and Gooch on the corners here. Valdez and Jezik safeties. Bogosh and Tuck inside. Dalton, Milton on the edge. And Calhoun, Lopez, Rodriguez, and Hall on the line. And Milton almost gets his hand up to block it. And they're going to run a crossing route. And they're going to pick up another first down on the play. I thought Milton timed it right. He did time it right. He just didn't have his arm in the right place there. And they get it over him.
Let's go! Let's go!
First and 10 for McGregor inside the 20. They send a man in motion again, and it's just going to be a give up the middle. And their power game is able to pick up positive yards on first down, which is really all they're trying to do now when they're in the red zone. Because I think the last couple times they've tried to get a little bit cute and they've tried to pass it when they haven't had to down there. I wouldn't be surprised if they just keep giving it to their number 22 in the backfield now. The rest of this drive, if I'm them, I'm just giving it to number 22. And this time it's a keeper by the quarterback, and it's a fake dive. And he's going to take it in, and McGregor's going to take the lead here. We'll see if they kick it or go for two here. It looks like they're going to come kick it. So McGregor with a chance to go up 20-14. And as fast as we came out that first drive, we're flat now on offense, on defense, on special teams, and just kind of on the sidelines too. We've talked about it all season. We pick up as the game goes along, but this start is not where it needs to be. Kick is up and good by McGregor, so we're going to have McGregor 20, Troy 14. We're going to go to commercial, and then we'll come back for kickoff return. Okay, here we go. 8:49 left to go in the second quarter. McGregor's taking their first lead of the game. Set to kick off from the south end. Trojan set to return from the north, so they'll have their wind at their backs. Cohen, Ketchum, Valdez, and Lucky back inside the 10-yard line. And we know this kicker has a leg. And this one's going to be high and short, and he kicks it in between. Lucky's going to field it. And he's going to try to get around to the wall, but not fast enough, and the pursuit by McGregor is going to bring him down at around the 20-yard line. So Trojans are going to take the field again on offense.
Tackle made by number 22.
Let's go to offense!
Just really quick to shout out the line here, who's actually given time to pass. That we gave up a sack down here a little while ago, but that was really just kind of a late blitz. But you got Witcher, Solis, Tuck, Williams, and Dees on the offensive line. And now you have kind of a bigger package in there. You have Byers in there blocking too. It's a give to Lucky, and he's going to take it up for a bit of a gain on the play. Lane is in there too blocking, so we have a bigger bigger package here. Let's see what we do. Lucky in the backfield. Lane and Byers both walked up. They're just kind of, and you got Lane in motion there. This is going to be another give to Lucky. And he's going to try to fall through the pile, but the pile's just not pushing. To McGregor's credit on defense, they're hanging with us. They're making it messy right there at the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5. So you have Cohen catch him out to the left, Reed catch him down to the right.
Second down and 7.
I would expect some sort of timing route maybe on the boundary here. Maybe an out route for Reed down here, maybe a comeback. Nope, it's going to be an in. And it was a bit of a dart again, but that's one that Reed usually comes down with, and he's already going full speed too. He's going to outrun the safety that's kind of coming from the backside there.
Go back and play 4th down and 5.
So it's great to get Reed out here to get snaps in before the playoffs, because game speed is different than practice speed, even a game against McGregor. But as we've seen so far, McGregor came to play tonight. So McGregor's going to send 2 back deep again. And the kick by Milton is a good kick. It's not going to allow for any return there. 39-yard punt by Milton on the punt there, so showcasing a couple punters too. It's always good to know you have depth at almost every level, and we've proven that. So we'll have to talk about this a little bit more next time the offense takes the field. But what do you try to do here? Because McGregor, like we've said, they've come to play. Like they've scouted us. They've been able to kind of keep us in check, try to keep the receivers in front of them for the most part, even though Reed did kind of get the inside leverage there on that play, but we didn't come down with it. And they've been able to kind of stand up the line and really hold Lucky in check too so far outside of that first series. Dalton in, but isn't able to come up with the tackle. Summer was kind of the first one there in pursuit to really get over there. Bogosh there to kind of clean up.
They pick up the 2, 2nd and 8.
Haven't heard us call Calhoun yet tonight. Usually he's kind of had an impact play, but not yet. So feels like, and I just watched it, that's why they're getting double teamed. He's getting double teamed on almost every play. Great play by Gooch there to stick to that receiver and follow him inside. So it's going to bring up 3rd and long. Cohen catch him coming in for Gooch there on this 3rd down play, even though he's going to have to walk over, but great job by Gooch there to stay on the receiver. And this is going to be, that's going to be a passing catch, and their receiver there just runs past the chains and comes down with a good, tough, contested catch. Valdez on the tackle, a little shaken up on the play there. And McGregor running with a little bit more tempo here. It's going to be a quick out in the flat. And their number 1 is a little slippery. We've got to make sure there's just too many arm tackles tonight.
Tackle stop made by JoJo Go. A 7-yard pickup. That'll bring up a 2nd down.
Here we go, 2nd and 3. McGregor in plus territory now, and it's going to be a give up the middle. Dalton was one of the first there. I could tell he was kind of going for the strip, but kind of went along for the ride, because that back they have is, he didn't seem to have like maybe the burst of speed that we've seen in district, but he certainly has some of the power. Or maybe it was number 5 there, and this time their quarterback's going to go deep, and their receiver's going to lay out for it, and he's going to come down with it at the 2-yard line. Porter in coverage there, kind of on the deep post, but that was a pretty pass by the quarterback there, and an all-out layout by the receiver to come down with it. And McGregor, looks like McGregor called a timeout. It looked like we were having difficulties running players on. We're gonna stay here. Kyle's telling me we're gonna stay here. Yeah, the defense is just, we talked about it, especially coming out of the Cameron game, where tackling in space was just a strength of the defense. Like, we noticed it, especially with Dalton that night, but with others as well. And tonight, just tackling in space has been hard, especially on the edges, and even up the middle. I watched it. I mentioned it a few plays ago. We haven't called Calhoun's name tonight. He hasn't made an impact play. Well, if you watch it, they're double teaming him. And on the play that I happened to watch, he also took hands to the face and didn't get it called. But he's got to do that. He's got to make the most of that. He's got to make sure that he makes two linemen fully engage him. And this time McGregor comes out in a tight bunch formation. They're in shotgun, but it's a short shotgun here. He's only 3 yards off the line, and it's a high snap. And after the timeout there, it's a bad snap, so it's going to back him up. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal all the way from the 14, so a loss of 12 on the play.
So that was the loss of 11. Going to bring up a 2nd down, goal to go from 13.
So McGregor's going to come out, trips left here. You got Gooch, Valdez, and Dalton covering up those receivers, but it's going to be a give to their number 5 up the middle, and he's going to pick up about 3 on the play, maybe 4. No, actually 5. He's going to be down to the 9-yard line, so it brings up 3rd and goal.
Nick Osborne on the carry for the Bulldogs. A 4-yard pickup.
And it's going to be a quarterback keeper. And he's sandwiched in the backfield by Tuck and Milton. Milton and Tuck on the stop there.
Bubba Zacharias on the carry.
Physicality's starting to step up a little bit, especially once they get kind of pinned in the red zone like this. And McGregor's going to come out and try to take a 2-score lead here. This is going to be a 28-yard try, which is well within this kicker's range. The kick is up, and it is good. So he is 3 for 3 on the night. And McGregor's going to take a 2-score lead, 23-14, with 4:17 left to go in the second. And real quick halftime update, Yoakum 20, Hallettsville 6. And again, we're locked in to the number 2 seed tonight, so there's nothing in terms of playoff seeding to be gained from tonight. But to say there's nothing to play for is not true. This is a lot of teams don't necessarily have a tune-up game like this where you can hopefully avoid having to play your starters necessarily the whole game, even though you want to let your seniors get a lot of snaps on the field, which I know is something we're certainly trying to do. But we're playing to win this game, and it's McGregor is giving us all we want right now. There's seniors on the other side of the ball too. They want to win. They on this field too. They want to win. They've won every road game so far this season. We did drop a game to Franklin here, but otherwise they have good memories on this field from this year. And you want to end it on a good note too, because they'll have the senior walk after the game and all that pageantry. This is going to be a deep kick, and Lucky's going to field it at the 3. And he's going to be brought down at the 5-yard line. Their kicker is doing a tremendous job putting it in kind of no man's return land. He's kicking it kind of squib kicks that are getting all the way down to the 5, and that time Lucky, he kind of misjudged it at first. I think he should have gone back and caught it, but then it wasn't actually going to go in the end zone. And that's the thing is, right now all the bounces are going McGregor's way, but this is where the defense is going to have to come, or I'm sorry, the offense is going to come out and actually make a play. I feel like on the right side here you got Reed and Cohen, Reed in motion. He's coming over to Smith's side. It's going to be a give to Lucky up the middle, who's going to pick up a good 5 yards on the play. You can always count on Tuck to block in through the whistle, and he does so again right there on first down. So pickup of 3 on the play brings up 2nd and 3 inside our own 10-yard line. McMurtry in shotgun. Same formation, same motion with Ketchum. This time he gets all the way across the formation. And such an easy passing catch for a first down there. And I love how, like, right there on that play, they kept Lane in there for pass protection because they've seen us with Lane or Byers or sometime Milton even in there. Kind of as a lead blocker, but when that standing fullback kind of turns into pass protection, it's also someone that can eventually leak out on a play. Good push by the line there, because again, this McGregor line has been pretty stout on their side too. Another pickup of 3 on first down.
24-yard line, a 3-yard gain. Bring up a 2nd down.
Yep, and Kyle brings up a good point here. McGregor gets the ball first in the second half. Looks like a free play here, and it's going to be an option. That was an option there with Lucky. It looked like they jumped across the line, but no flag thrown, so we're going to pick up 2 on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 4. Ball on the 27-yard line. Trips left. Lucky picks up a block. And the pass is just a little too deep for Ketchum there.
Intended for Reed Ketchum. Incomplete. So we'll go back to the previous spot at the 27 and play 4th down and 4 with 2 minutes and 19
Looks like we're possibly going for it here. And with no play clock, it's hard to kind of tell what's going on here. The play has stopped here, and actually the ball is not off the line, so we're going to get a little bit more time here. The back judge tried to throw the ball over to our side, and it was a dribbler, didn't make it all the way over. So 2:19 left to go in the second quarter. 4th down and 5, and we're going to back up to punt, and we are going to punt it here, and so we'll have good coverage. Let's see if we get a good bounce. We don't, and it's actually returned. Every single bounce is going their way right now. And this is where defense has to come up with a stop, maybe even a turnover here, because there's still plenty of time. We have all 3 timeouts here. We were kind of hoping to flip the field there with the wind kind of to our backs, even though the wind has really died down so far. But even there, like, you have perfect pursuit. They have no one back, and they even get a return out of it just based on the bounce. So see what we do here. McGregor's got a lot of momentum. McGregor, I believe, has scored on every possession. They've had 5 possessions. They've scored 3 field goals, 2 touchdowns, and they get the ball first in the second half. So defense has got to come up with a stop here. They're going to send a man in motion, and it's going to be a sweep around the right side. Dalton is able to kind of set the edge out there and fight off the block and be the first on the scene to make the tackle there, but it's still a pickup of 4 on the play. We have our 3 timeouts, but it looks like we're going to kind of see maybe how second down goes first before we use one. 2nd and 6. McGregor sends 2 in motion. They're going to have to reset. McGregor calls a timeout. So with 1:34 left to go, we're going to stay here through the timeout here just to kind of talk through the defense so far, kind of what McGregor's done that's kind of tripped us up on defense. It's been a balanced attack. They've thrown deep a few times. They've run inside counters, draws. They've run the quarterback keeper. They've run that inside. They really haven't run the quarterback wide because they're coming out in they're using a little bit of pre-snap motion, but really the meat and potatoes of what they're trying to do is really run it between the tackles, and they're running it with a fairly big tight end in there as well. They've had a couple, I think, even double tight end sets too. But here they come out, 2nd and 6, Twins left, single back. They send the slot receiver in motion here, and they moved again, so that's going to back them up. Yeah, we're kind of stunning on the defensive line there, and I think it's causing some confusion. They're kind of calling out blocks, and I think that's what we're going to have to start doing too, is because I talked about how like Calhoun was getting double teamed. Like we're going to have to kind of move around a little bit to at least have them have to reassess kind of what some of their blocking schemes are, because I think when we're stationary like that, and he's done this all year, he's lined up over the center. We've just got to kind of move around and just make them have to think twice a little bit. Backs him up 5, and Milton with a deflection there. Great job by Milton to bat that down, because that pass was open over there. We were in coverage, but we don't even want to give up a couple yards just even on a catch. So with 1:32 left to go, it's going to bring up a 3rd and long, and we still have all 3 of our timeouts. So this is played out as best it could, really, considering we didn't even punt it out of plus territory for them. 3rd and 11, single back, and it's going to be a slant route, and Cohen Ketchum's going to come up and tackle immediately after about a gain of 4 on the play. Okay, so Troy takes a timeout here, and I like calling this timeout because it does give them a little bit more time if they do want to reconsider what they do, but you have to make sure you have all your ducks in a row on defense right now, because you either need a stop or you need to set up just a good punt return scheme, however you want to do it, or if it's a punt block, we'll see. Haven't really seen us go all out on a punt block this year. I think that's one thing, is as much as these special teams are touted, I don't think we have that, do we? We don't have a punt block all season. So with 1:16 left to play in the second, the score is Troy 14, McGregor 23. And McGregor has scored 13 unanswered points, 3 scores, but we've talked about this. If defense can get a stop here, it's going to be huge going into halftime, because we talked about it. McGregor has had, this is their 6th possession. They have 5 scores. Okay, so here we go, 4th and 5. McGregor is going for it here. And it's going to be a reverse. Intercepted by Valdez, his 8th of the season. So they were running. I know, they were running a reverse pass there, and they leaked their quarterback out this way, and the way that this backside receiver set up a block, essentially, I thought the play was designed for him, but him running that way, I think, wanted to throw with his momentum, maybe to get more air under it. And yeah, I mean, had they gone the backside here, their quarterback was wide open and could have essentially walked into the end zone. But again, Valdez comes down with what is eighth interception of the season. So here we go, offense with 2 timeouts, takes the field. Twins right, Twins left. Lucky in the backfield, likely in for pass protection. Looks like they're going to send somebody from the right edge. McMurtry's going to step back, and he's going to throw out of bounds. Looking for Ketchum on a deep out there.
Out of bounds. So stop the clock. And
we saw it a couple times last year. I remember it in the Whitney game of all games, but we ran a lot of deep crossers. I want to see one of those plays too, but that also just, you have to have McMurtry be able to kind of stand back in the pocket and kind of read the field and watch it develop. And McGregor, to their credit, they've been getting some pressures, and it's just made the pocket move a little bit. And this is gonna be a false start on Troy. This is gonna back us up 5. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 15 with 56 seconds left to play. Still plenty of time. Troy still with 2 timeouts.
Against the Trojans, will cost them 5 yards. Here's the ball back to the 25-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 15 from the 25.
Lucky in the backfield. Cohen and Reed to the left. Hill and Smith down to the right. And it's going to be an out to Smith, and he's going to get out of bounds, and he picks up the first down in the process. Pickup of 16 on the play. He's going to get just enough for the first down.
For Troy, Rolando Medina on the tackle. Put the ball at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10 Troy.
Great job by Smith there to push off hard, to have their cornerback retreat. And this is going to be kind of a bubble screen to catch him over there, and he's going to be tackled inbounds. We had a lot of blockers out in front there. Man, Williams and Dees, 20 yards downfield, like they were ready to block. Okay, and we're setting up fast here. We're running into the formation here. Hill gets back into position fast. 2nd and 4. And McMurtry's going to look deep, and he's going to throw deep.
He caught it. He caught it.
And pass is incomplete. It was almost a circus catch. Hill and Reed actually kind of run their routes into one another there.
So we'll go back to the previous part.
Okay, time is getting a little bit tight here, so it feels like you can throw over the middle of the field here, but if you do, you've got to use the timeout immediately after. So here we go. This time, a different formation here. You got Reed out here wide right. This feels like a go route down here to the bottom. Looked like that was actually, it was taking all the defenders away to the opposite side of the field. He was rolling this way, and it looked like that was Lucky leaking out here to kind of like throw him kind of on a backside wheel route. And we're going to use a timeout here. We're going to stay here. So 4th and 4. Huge play here. 13 seconds left. You can still throw over the middle of the field. You got the 1 timeout left. But I think if I'm McGregor here, knowing the time too, I'm sitting back a little bit. Giving up the first down is not the end of the world here, because you're not really trying to steal a possession here with this much time, because even them with 1 timeout, you don't have a ton of time to really move the ball down, even though their kicker, I'm guessing, could push a 50-yard field goal. So here we go. We come out trips right. We have Smith, Hill, and Reed is the inside slot receiver here. And they're kind of bunched tight between the hash and the numbers and on the short side of the field. Cohen catch him with more speed or more space to work with up on the top of the field. Lucky in the backfield. McMurtry in shotgun. McGregor looks like they're bringing pressure here, and they are. And he lobs it up, and Cohen kind of cuts the route off a little bit inside, and McMurtry honestly had to get rid of that one there. An interception's almost as good as a punt there. But now you give 8 seconds, and we're going to see what McGregor does here. McGregor may just try to, I really feel like for them, like this is maybe you get a 15-yard pickup, you call a timeout, like you try to kick a field goal. So receivers, or not receivers, I'm sorry, secondary's just got to keep the receivers in front of them and then just read and react, come up, try to make a deflection. I wouldn't mind a pick 6 if that just so happened. Cohen catch him in here to kind of play press man on the outside here. He's going to kind of back up a little bit. And it's going to be a pass. And the time ran out, so it was a pickup of about 30 on the play. It would have certainly put him in field goal range, and had he just toe-tapped out of bounds, it would have probably suited the purpose of scoring another play, but he almost broke it off and turned it upfield. So we squeak out with a stop, if you want to call it a stop there on defense. But McGregor had their way kind of in the first half. 5 scores, 3 of those field goals, and they get the ball first in the second half. So we'll see how we regroup. We've talked about this all season. Situational coaching, halftime adjustments, that's been the strength of this coaching staff and even the players to be able to incorporate those in game time, but they have their work cut out for them tonight. So here we go. Halftime, we're going to break, and we'll come back with the Trojan Band here in a bit.
Bradley Properties is a full-service real estate company specializing in brokerage, property management, and maintenance services for commercial and residential properties. Our skilled team boasts decades of experience. Whether you're navigating the rental market, embarking on your home ownership journey, or seeking strategic investment opportunities, you can trust us to stand by your side. Ready to take the next step? Contact us today or visit us online at spradleyproperties.com.
Vikings. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, that's
Now performing their 2024 competition show, the McGregor Bulldog Pride.
in there toasted.
Rebecca Kroll and Greg Vaughn. The Golden Flames are directed by Miss Colleen Hinson.
We got 3.5 acres. We used to have cows like a Jeremy. He got into it, I got into it. I got too old for it. Yeah, well, we had some on our land, but he was on his land. We had some. I got out of it and sold him the cows. He kept on doing it. He's young, let him go. He's too old for it. Yeah, it is like that. We'll see Brian. Well, if that's Brian loses and Bryson gets into it, okay. But if he loses, we'll see boys after the year.
Chili.
Yeah, that's exactly right. She said, no, I ain't going to do that anymore.
Worse than colon surgery.
She said, we ain't doing that again. And the doctor said, you can't have him there. It's a miracle that this kid goes out. You had one job to charge the battery on the line. You had one job.
Good evening. This year in the state of Texas Class 3A, 165 bands competed in the UIL marching contest. For the 5th time in a row, the mighty Trojan band advanced to the state competition this week in San Antonio. After months of planning, countless hours of practice in all types of weather, 2,879 slices of pizza, 3,084 chicken tenders, 856 cheeseburgers, and over 1,400 chocolate chip cookies, gallons and gallons of water, at least 3 broken bones, and tons of blood, sweat, and tears, the mighty Trojan band placed 15th overall in the great state of Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome to the field the mighty Trojan band as they perform their award-winning contest show, City Lights. The Troy band is under the direction of Rustin Honeycutt, Amy Delaverne, and Daniel Wainwright. Drum majors are Owen Dupuy and Hannah Halford. You may begin your program.
Okay, here we go, folks. We're back here for the third quarter. Troy 14, McGregor 23, and McGregor is set to receive. So the offense will have to wait a series to get back out there, and defense has a chance to do something that they only did with the help of time running out on the last series of the first half, which was stop McGregor. McGregor had scored on their first 5 possessions. The defense did hold 3 of those to field goals, but still, McGregor was able to go into halftime with a 2-possession lead, and we were outgained. So Troy had a total of 220 yards. I'm sorry, McGregor had a total of 220 yards in the first half, 88 in the air, 132 on the ground. Troy had 171 passing, 33 rushing, so I think we'll see a steady dose of lucky to kind of get started here in the third quarter once we take over. But again, first things first, defense is going to take the field. And McGregor is going to start 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. So here we go. Defense looking to make a stop. A 3-and-out or a turnover would be exceptional in terms of starting out here. Let's see if we notice any adjustments made here. Still have Calhoun, Williams, and Hall. They're kind of bunched in a little bit tighter, and McGregor's coming out with a little bit more of a wide split, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper.
Bulldogs.
Great job by Marshall Hall to get in the backfield there, kind of slipped in from the backside there and kept the quarterback from even getting back to the line of scrimmage there. It's going to be 2nd and 12. And McGregor's going to stay in the trips left. Let's see if they throw it out in the flat. They do, and it's going to be caught. It's going to be caught for a gain of about 10 on the play, and it's just too easy. We're just giving too much cushion there in the slot. So let's see what we do here. This is going to be a 3rd and short. Can't afford to give any cushion on the edge here. Let's see what we do.
Third and 2.
This time they have Twins right, and they actually moved. And they were running a man in motion. It looked like they were maybe going to run some sort of sweep over to the wide side of the field to our sideline. But we may never know. They're probably going to switch to a different play here. It's going to back them up 5 and move it into 3rd down and 8.
The down remains the 3rd, but now we'll make it 3rd and 7.
It's going to be a quick pass out to the flat. And eventually I feel like we may have to walk the corners up a little bit tighter. So McGregor's going to move the chains here. It's going to be 1st and 10, still inside the 50 on their side of the field, 49-yard line. Twins left, Twins right. It's going to be a give up the middle, and it's going to be a gain of about 2 on the play. It looks like there might be a holding call. There was a holding call maybe on the edge all the way out here. But regardless, the line judge threw a flag. Looks like it is going to back him up a little bit.
On the field, holding against the Bulldogs.
So that's going to make it 1st and 20. Looks like it happened essentially at the line of scrimmage, so it's going to back them up 10. 1st and 20 from their own 39-yard line.
Move it back
And the big thing we've got to stop, we
39.
weren't able to effectively stop it the first half, and so far here in the third we haven't been able to either. Is just that short passing out to the flat. This time they're going to throw a deep go. And he's going to get all the way in the end zone. They just ran a simple go route down the right seam. And we're able to get past, get behind coverage there.
For the Bulldogs.
So Troy gives up a score on the first possession, so offense is going to have to come out and get some points on the board to get us back into this. But this is going to be a 3-possession game here. Or actually, it's still just a 2-possession game, even with the PAT here. Kick is up and good. Their kicker's been perfect so far, 3 for 3 on PATs and 3 field goals, so.
By Bubba Zacharias. And that takes the score to 30 for McGregor, 14 for the Trojan.
So 10-12 to go in the third quarter. Troy 14, McGregor 30. And part of it too is, I mean, their quarterback there, I mean, he gets off that, that's a go route. He gives that off. He gets that off quick because I guess what I'm trying to get to is, like, we've got to get some sort of pressure, but it's not like they're just sitting back there forever and holding the ball to get some of these passes off. I don't know, we're going to have to regroup from a defensive standpoint and try to figure out what's going wrong here, but the secondary is giving up way too many plays here. Troy back to receive, and this has been a trouble spot for us tonight. And a lot of that is, I mean, give the credit to the McGregor kicker for kicking it into holes and just deep, and this time it's going to be fielded inside the end zone, and we're going to bring it out, and Cohen. That is a 103-yard kick return touchdown by Cohen Ketchum.
101-yard return.
And as scary as that is to watch that develop, Cohen is so patient when he brings it over because he knew what he wanted to do. He knew the wall was set up on this side. He knew he had to get to the wall, and he knew he was going to have to tiptoe the sideline. But first, he had to zigzag through a very tight crease just to get past all that pursuit. So it looks like we're going to kick it here instead of trying to cut it to a one-possession game. Kick is up and good. And do we come out with an onside here? Do we try to steal a possession? And part of it is, I would argue, is it doesn't matter where you give them the ball. Just get a stop. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do one of the little dribblers kind of onside kicks here.
Did you see the convoy once he got to the 15?
Yeah, and there was someone, I don't know who it was engaged in a block down here. A legal block, which he might have sustained because the block was, yes. Have to go back to the film to find out exactly who that was, but somebody had a block. That wasn't really going to be the difference maker because you're right. He had a convoy of 5 or 6 out in front of him. They were celebrating at the 40 once they got there. Okay, so here we go. Tinoco set to kick off from the right hash. It feels like we might have an onside coming, and McGregor only has 4 up. So you wonder if that kind of second level is going to run up after that, but this seems ripe for an onside, and it is, and we're going to have it. And I think Tinoco covered it. He recovered it. Well, it's a perfect kick, and I love how he runs alongside it because he has that momentum going with it. But how have you not seen that? If you're McGregor, how do you only have 4 players up front there? And the blocker's going down too. But you know what? That is a perfect kick. We talk about their kicker. He's having a day. Tinoco, hey, recover your own onside, and you get in the mix for best kicker of the game. Here we go. Twins left, Twins right. And it's going to be Reed cut the route off a little bit short there. And McMurtry was going deep. He was throwing the seam route right down the left hash. They weren't on the same page there. So here we go, 2nd and 10. We're already in plus territory, but we need to go down and get another score here. Okay, we're coming out trips right. Lucky in the backfield. And this is the middle screen, set up perfectly with blocks. And Lucky, wow, he turned on the turbo there. Hey, but you had, there's a flag, this is coming back. I was gonna say you had D's over there engaged in a block. You had someone else, I couldn't quite tell who it was. And it looked like those were good blocks, but nope, it's coming back.
Holding against the Trojans.
But it was down the field, so it is only going to back us up.
Off 10 yards and
so it's going to make it 2nd and 13, so at least it doesn't push us back a full 10, but it does negate a huge play there. And we were kind of waiting for that to come because the screen game has always been pretty strong, and it was perfectly set up and timed based on their aggressiveness because they're trying to get pressure on the quarterback. Look, everybody from McGregor is within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
So I'm catching the intended receiver incomplete. So that'll bring up a third and 13.
So here we go, 3rd and 13. It feels like even just the way that this game is going, like maybe you try to pick up a chunk play here, and even our chunk plays, when we try to, whenever I say, okay, we're going to run like an out route and we run a timing route out of bounds, we end up picking like 12, 13, 14 yards up on it because our receivers are so good about running past the chains, past the first down marker. Here we go, 3rd and 13. Ball on our 49-yard line. We're spread out. McGregor bringing pressure again. Lucky picks it up. And a shoestring catch by Reed. He's not down. And I think he's going to get up and get the first down. Great job by Reed. First off, and it was a 14-yard pickup, or maybe 13 and a half. And we're in tempo here. Looks like we're going to give to Lucky, or it might be a direct snap. Nope, we're getting into an actual play here. Trips left on the short side of the field. It is a direct snap. Man, and it looked like if he could have just found a crease. Look at, he's got linemen out there pushing there. D's and Tuck out there in front. So a good pickup on first down. But going back to that catch on 3rd and 13, first off, Reed catches that a hair off the ground at full speed. Make sure that he stays on top of the defender that tries to undercut him, and then is smart enough to turn it up quick. And he's got Lucky, and a good spin catch by Lucky, and a stiff arm. 18-yard pickup on the play. But what I loved about that is McMurtry threw it to him. He's so wide open. Lucky shifts his body and catches it with momentum so he can turn to the outside and then uses a stiff arm. But here we go, 1st and 10 from the 20. Got trips left. And it's a double move, and he's going to run the wheel route, and it's going to be a touchdown. 20-yard touchdown.
Pass in the end zone for 6 points for the Trojans.
And it was one of the slower developing routes. Reed actually kind of like cuts in at first, and then he rolls out, and it's a timing route too, because McMurtry's throwing it before Reed even turns his shoulder back into the ball. Tinoco's kick is up and good, and we pulled within 3. I'm sorry, we pulled within 2. So with 8:04 left, Troy's at 28, McGregor 30, and we're going to stay here. We got the kickoff unit about to take the field again.
2 touchdowns in about 2 minutes of game clock.
Yeah, so we're, again, the offensive efficiency and the speed at which we move the ball. And even there, we had 25 yards of offense negated with a penalty. Like, we're moving the ball now. Defense has got to step up and get some stops here. And part of it is just getting a 3-and-out or getting a turnover. We've already had a turnover. We've had Valdez had an interception. But just getting a 3-and-out, I think, would be huge for this defense to get just as a unit. And who knows if we don't see another kick, because look, McGregor still only has 4 up on the line. I would kick the onside again. I would kick it right down the middle. And I think part of this, I'm not saying they've given Tinoco like full audible abilities, but like I wonder if he's able to say like, hey, and you know what, I think we're calling this in from the side too. Like, this is probably the same thing. This is quite possibly the same thing. Nope, it's going to be kick down the side. And he's going to be pushed out of bounds after a gain of about 3 or 4 on the return. So not much on the return. And as much as I tried to speak that onside into existence there, I get it. You got to try to pin him a little deep here. So with 8:01 left to go in the third, so we've only played 4 minutes here in the third quarter. We've had 3 touchdowns. And not that the first half was devoid of points, like, but it looks like we're going to have a lot of fireworks here in the second half. Looks like we're playing a little closer man. We back out of it, though. And it's a give around the left side. And look at Calhoun there. He might have got triple teamed there. Everybody else is going to have to step up a little bit, because you can see it if you watch it on this play. Watch what they do. I mean, they're coming off. Basically, Calhoun's lining up over the center. Whatever gap he shoots, it's a double team on him. And that was just a quick pass out to the left side. And their receiver wasn't even ready for it. Their receiver, it looked like, thought it was a running play. He came off to just run block and not even aggressive at that. So here we go. We have a 3rd and 6. Huge, huge play here. And we're bringing some heat. And somehow their quarterback steps up in the pocket and throws a dart across the middle. Their number 1 takes a hit because of it. Dalton comes flying in from the edge and did the perfect thing. He jumped up in the air to make the quarterback have to pump it and bring it up, but he stepped up in the pocket, which was a tight pocket to begin with. I don't even know necessarily, because a lot of the linemen were engaged at that point. I don't know if they knew he really stepped up into the pocket, because he hasn't been doing that at all game. But McGregor picks up a first down there. And this is going to be a tackle for loss. Bogosh, Paul.
We have a flag on the field, number 22 on the carry.
Looks like we're gonna have an unsportsmanlike here and an automatic first down, but it looks like it was a dead ball penalty, so it's gonna be after the
personal foul. Troy.
Looks like that all happened after the play, but
So its ball is now at the 40-yard line.
So Bogosh comes out for a play. Tuck goes in.
For McGregor.
But stop the momentum here. Like, don't let them get into field goal range. We don't want to give up any points here. This is the kind of that game you look back on and you go, well, we stopped them 3 times in the red zone, but they did get 3 field goal conversions out of it. Let's see what they do here. They run a man in motion across the formation, and they're going to go deep. Gooch in coverage, and he's going to be out of bounds. And that's a great job with Gooch running with him step for step up the seam or up the sideline, but then also just to kind of keep that inside leverage and make him be out of bounds. Like, that's great coverage there on the edge. They don't have a lot. I know they kind of picked up that 3rd down a minute ago, like on the kind of dart across the middle, but they're not throwing it across the middle a lot. They're really throwing it on the edge. Even if they're throwing it in the flat, everything is like outside the numbers. We have a score on the Yoakum game. Yoakum's pulling away, so that's essentially our opponent next week. They're up 41-12 over Hallettsville, and they're back gets hit at the line of scrimmage, but picks up about 9 yards after contact there, so it's going to bring up 3rd and short. 6:15 and counting left in the 3rd, so still plenty of time here. A lot of games in the area are wrapping up by now, but we're going to be going for a while. 3rd and 1, huge play here. But even that play right there is a testament to the push that we're getting at the defensive line, and even by the backers coming up. We're making contact at the line of scrimmage. We've just got to bring them down. This time they have everybody over to the left, overloaded. They run out to the right, and their quarterback's going to actually keep it around the left edge. That was just a lot of misdirection, almost like what Rogers runs there, except not as tightly bunched. They ran their 1 in motion over here, and it kind of pulled a defender out just 1, which allowed a little bit more room for wiggle by the quarterback on the left side there. So 1st and 10, ball in the Trojan 24-yard line. McGregor inching to the red zone again. I think we're already in field goal range of their kicker. And we're bringing pressure here. Are we going to get to him? We're not, but we are gonna take out the legs after a short gain there, and there's a flag here. I can't tell when that flag was thrown, though. That might have been someone lined up off sides for them.
Lincoln Jessup on the tackle for Croy.
Yeah, it looks like it's on McGregor. I can't tell what exactly. Let's see.
Maybe covered up an eligible receiver.
Not entirely sure what he was signaling there, but
indication of the pass being touched en route. I'm sorry, I did not see the correct signal.
Yeah, so it backs him up 5 yards there. At first, what I thought what it might have been, because they were running kind of a route tree over here on the side. If it was kind of a rub route or something, and he was, but that would have been 10 yards. So it wasn't that. That would have been pass interference on the offense. So not entirely sure of the penalties, but it was assessed there. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 15. And this is going to be a keeper by the running back. The quarterback, and he's going to be brought down. He's going to get it back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 10. And their quarterback actually loses his helmet there, so he's going to have to come back for a play. So we're going to see McGregor might actually use a timeout here, and they are. They're going to use a timeout here because they don't. They have to run it through him. So we're going to take a commercial break too. I know we haven't taken many of those, so we're going to take a commercial and we'll come back for more. Okay, here we go. Big third down for the Trojan defense. 3rd and 11. McGregor has a man in motion. And it's going to be, they're going to throw a flag there.
Dominic Madsen was the intended.
I guess they were saying he was impeding the route, but he wasn't. There wasn't hand fighting. He didn't seem to be wrapped around him at all. But they're going to call it, or let's see if they wave it off. It doesn't look like it. It's probably going to be half the distance. Looks like they got gooched for pass interference there on the backside.
Holding against the Trojans.
So holding, so just a 5-yard penalty.
This is the goal line, but we still have an automatic.
Yeah, 5 yards and automatic first down instead of 15 for pass interference. If it is just holding, we'll see how far they mark it off. Referees are kind of talking it over here. Not entirely sure how they mark that off because that's not half the distance based on an incomplete pass. It wasn't, yeah. That seems to be marked off. I'm surprised our coaches aren't barking at him here a little bit. It looks like maybe they are because they're trying to figure out how that is marked off there because the ball was previously on the 27-yard line. It was outside the 25-yard line. If it's half the distance from that, they've given them an extra 5 yards there.
They are. They should be back.
We're going to stay here and wait this out with y'all watching just to see how quick they get this sorted out. But it looks like they've given them an extra maybe 5 yards here. Okay, so they are backing them up a little bit.
Okay, we were a little bit too far on the penalty, so we'll get it corrected.
And I think Brashear's still talking to him because I think part of it is like, did they call pass interference or did they call defensive hold? Because it's actually different based on. So we're still trying to sort this out here. And I think that's what I think they need to huddle up and actually try to figure out what was originally called because if anything, it seemed like it maybe was a hold, which would only be 5 yards, which you could fully assess that and they would still be outside the red zone there.
But now they got the change where it's showing 3rd and short.
Yeah, so maybe that's what he was getting at is the chains need to be reset, but maybe the chains had actually moved back to where it needs to be. It's going to be a first down for McGregor no matter where it is because he's got the 3rd down. Yeah, so we've got a lot to sort out here. But it's okay, it's getting cooler. Yeah, we still got 4:11 left to play in the 3rd. This is going to be one of the longer games too, considering like how timeouts and that sort of thing are probably going to factor in because this is going to kind of be a. This is going to take a while here, and this is going to be kind of a battle of attrition the rest of the way, but not giving up a touchdown here is huge. So we have a 3rd down here. I'm not entirely sure what got sorted out there, but I'll take it here if we can get a stop. And we were able to push him back, maybe for a loss of 1 on the play, and this will be interesting to see what they do here. They're actually going to kick. Or this actually, nope. They're putting in a big unit. This is, yeah, this is a bigger unit. I don't see a, so they're going for 4th and 3. Great job by the defense selling out at the line of scrimmage. Who all is flying in there? Tuck lost his helmet. He was a big one there.
Nick Osborne on the carry.
I think you saw linebackers and everybody kind of pinch in too, because you saw like they were going to run it up the middle. I think they were trying to with all their big bodies in there. They were just trying to create a wedge and kind of run it up the middle, but we stuffed it. Like they didn't. They took 7 out. So here we go, down by 2, 3:36 left in the third. Hill in motion around the right side. It's going to be a toss to Hill in the flat, and he's going to pick up good yards. He's going to pick up positive yards on first down, and questionable tackle out of bounds there. No flags on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and short. And it looks like pick up a 7 on the play. It looks like we're going to pick up well, maybe not. I feel like every time I feel like maybe we're going to run with a little bit more tempo, we're making sure we get the right plays in. And again, it looks like they're just now kind of waving the clock on, and we haven't had the play clock working all night, folks, so it's been hard to tell kind of. And that'd be hard for the players too, because they're having to keep that in their mind. And this is going to be a bubble screen out to the other side. I will say this, Hill, like on both sides there, it looks like we're just trying to get speed on the edge here, which I think is part of what we've got to do here. 3rd and 4 coming up. Hill did a great job there, keeping it high and tight when he got that ball there, because he had everybody flying, and the last thing you want to do here is give up some. You don't want to let them flip the field and steal a possession here, especially after the defense kind of stole some momentum on that 4th down stop there. Trying to hit Hill in the flat out to the right side. And 4th and short. Looks like we're going to keep the personnel out there, but we're actually running different personnel out.
4th and 4 at the 24.
Milton out to punt. Had a huge punt out last time. Let's see what we do. They have not necessarily, we've always found some green in front of them. They haven't fielded cleanly a punt here, and this is a good one. This is actually going to be fielded. And a great job by Tuck to get down there and be first on scene. But then after Tuck, he wasn't able to get him down there. It looked like that was Bogosh that came in there. Cohen Ketchum and Tucker down there on the stop too.
6-yard line.
Hey, let's D up here.
I can already call it here. Bogosh back in on defense. He's gonna make up for that penalty the last time out. So here we go. McKissick and Gukshin at corner, Valdez and Jezik at safety. Dalton, Milton, Summer, Bogosh on the line. Oh, actually, no, we got, oh yeah, we do. And then we got Lopez, Rodriguez, Hall, and Calhoun. Still wanting to find a way to call Calhoun's name tonight without it being a victim of a double team. And they get a good push up the middle there. I watched it there, and Calhoun's trying to get it. He did. He got held. He got spun around there. He busted through a double team. They almost ripped his jersey off, and he would have been there. He still almost got within arm's reach of the quarterback there. But we've got to create a little bit more pressure there the same way. Like, I think we're going to have to blitz here, but a big pickup down the left side there. This is going to be a give to their number 22 around the left side. He's going to pick up good positive yards on first down. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Ball on the Trojan 27-yard line. We're at 2 minutes left to go in the third. And you can tell McGregor's starting to play with a little bit more tempo. And this is going to be a quick screen out to their number 13. Valdez comes up.
At the 21-yard line. They pick up those 6 yards. 3rd down and 1. Peyton Valdez on the tackle for the Trojans.
Third and short, big play here, and it's going to be a give. And I don't think he got to the 20. The line judge is coming in and saying he's short, so it's going to bring up 4th and short.
No gain on the play.
And I think what you have to do here is you have to sell out. You have to sell out.
Williams with the tackle for Troy.
Just like we did last time, but part of it is based on the formation here. 4th and short. Here we go, and it's a quarterback keeper. And he's gonna get good yardage. He's gonna pick up about 10 on the play and move it inside the 10, I believe, or right at it. No, actually at the 11. So it's not quite 1st and goal. McGregor can still pick up a 1st down without punching it in. And they might let the clock, they're probably gonna get one more play off here. Great job by Valdez coming up and hitting the slot receiver right as the ball gets there. I thought that was going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter, but we're going to have one more at least.
So to make it 2nd down and 10. That's the 11.
Defense needs a stop here. D's coming in. Calhoun's getting a break. Calhoun's been double teamed all night long. Here we go. D's lined up as nose tackle this time. Tuck walked up behind him. He's going to try to get a push, and he does. Do we get a hand up? No. And it's going to be a touchdown. So with 6 seconds left, McGregor punches it in, and they did exactly the opposite of what I thought they were going to do there. They get a 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line, and they throw it 3 straight downs. Kick is up and good. So they keep it a 2-possession game by getting 7 on the books there. So we're going to go to commercial real quick, and we're going to come back for probably 1 kick and then the 4th quarter. Okay, here we go. McGregor set to kick off with 6 seconds left to go. I guess if he kicks it out the back of the end zone, then we'll have one more play in the 3rd quarter. But I don't know. Cohen might try to up his 103-yard kickoff return with something deeper. And this is going to be deep, but it's going to be returnable. Valdez is going to return it, and the wedge is going to be around the left side. And he's got speed. No flags on the field. I had to wait for it. 97-yard kickoff return. That's 200 yards of kickoff return in the past 2 returns in this quarter. So that's going to take us to the 4th quarter. Yeah. Yeah, you kick it. Yeah. So I thought they were assessing some penalty there. It scared me. No. So yeah. So you'll finish this quarter by tacking on the PAT here, which these PATs matter too, and you wonder if eventually analytics-wise you get into going for 2 or whatever. McGregor runs a player on late, but it doesn't matter. Tinoco. Yeah, they roughed Tinoco there on the kick. I don't think it was intentional. I think he kind of fell forward from a block, but there's going to be 15 yards that we're going to be able to assess on, and I wasn't surprised if that allows us to do an onside. Man. Lots happened in that third quarter. And points are not at a premium tonight. Stops are at a premium. So regardless of what happens here, on the kickoff, if we do end up going for the onside, now that we got the penalty assessed, we'll see what we do. But defense is going to have to come up with a stop or two here in the fourth in terms of giving us an opportunity to kind of flip it. So this is going to take a minute. We're going to flip to commercial, and then we'll be right back. Okay, here we go. So after the 15-yard roughing the kicker is assessed here, Tinoco's going to kick off from the 45-yard line. So I assume we're going to go for an onside. And look at McGregor's return unit. Even when you're bunched this closely, they only have 4 up on the line. This just shows poor scouting. Because they don't even really have a second level that's running up. There's a lot of gaps to go to. And we tried it, and it's a different one, and I like the fact of doing it different like that. And look at it, now they're still pinned at the 25-yard line. And that was a good hit. A good physical hit, too, to set the tone here for the defense. So here comes the defense. So you got Williams, Calhoun, Hall, Milton, Dalton, Summer, Bogosh, Valdez, Jezik, McKissick, and Gooch out there. Defense needs a 3 and out here. Let's see what they do. McGregor on first down. It's going to be a give up the middle. And he's going to be tackled, but he's going to be tackled forward. Pick up a 3 on the play, but still a good tackle there. Actually, a pickup of about 4 on the play brings up 2nd and 6. And now time is starting to matter here. So I think McGregor is probably going to run the ball a little bit more here, especially if they can just steadily move the ball downfield. And they knew they moved. I think they could have maybe played it off, but the one guy jumped up. So false start on the offense. It's going to back them up, and it's going to bring up 2nd and long. And maybe this is going to change what they're going to do. I think they were probably running the ball there. We'll see what they do here. Cohen catch him in for McKissick here on the near side corner. McGregor's come out. Twins left. It looks like they're coming to the left. They run a man in motion this way too, but actually the give is to the back. Okay, a lot of misdirection there. I thought he gave it to the back. Yeah, he must have pulled it at the last. That was a read option there, and he must have pulled it in. Yeah, at the last minute, he gets it back to where they were to begin with. So it's going to bring up 3rd and a long 5. Quarterback keeps it, and I think Dalton got a piece of it when he rushed. And it looks like McGregor's bringing out their punt unit, but I would be very mindful of what they do here. And we're going to send back Cohen and Lucky back to receive. We've already muffed I think Lucky's going to redeem himself here. He's muffed a kickoff return and a punt return. And he's had some penalties assessed to some longer runs of his. I think he's ready to bust loose. Let's see what they do here. And that could be 3 special teams, huge plays in the second half here. And it's actually a short kick. We got to get away from it. So short kick, we don't get to do anything on the return there, but the offense is actually going to start in plus territory here. So with a chance to take the lead for the first time since it was 14-13 late in the second quarter. Okay, I see Creel out here for the first time tonight. So you have Hill, Creel, and Hill down here on the right. You have Reed up on the top left. And it's actually a give to Lucky. I'm sorry, that was Cohen actually up there at the top. But yeah, great play here. It looks like, is it coming back?
Offside against McGregor.
Yeah, offside's on the defense, so we'll take the yards. So a pickup of about 12 on the play by Lucky. I know we've said it before, and I know he's muffed a kickoff and a punt tonight, but Lucky has great hands, and catching in space and in rhythm, he does a great job. He's in for pass protection here and picks up a great block. And Smith is going to pick up and keep going. Smith. 18 yards pass and catch to Smith there, and Smith picks up about 5 yards after catch here. It's a direct snap to Lucky, and he's going to pick up about 4 there. What I love about the direct snap play is our line fires off. Like the line fires off. It's part of it is you're running it with tempo, so the defensive line doesn't have time to get set. But then they also just push off so quickly that Lucky's able to get to the line of scrimmage before he makes any contact. I thought it was a bigger gain on the play, but a pickup of 2 on first down, 2nd and 8. Trips left. McMurtry looking left, and he's going to throw. And it was out of the end zone. Looked like it was just a little.
Pass was incomplete. So we'll.
Yeah, we are. Kyle brings up a good point here. So with 8:47 left to go in the fourth, we're down to 3rd and 7. We're in field goal range to be able to go ahead on a field goal. But I'd love to punch it in here. You have Smith down here in single coverage. I wonder if he's going to look this way. He's not. It's actually the middle screen, and their backer just sat on it. Let's see what we do here.
15-yard line.
Yep, we're going to kick it here. Tinoco's running out on the field.
Bring up a 4th and 8.
Here we go, and I think this is perfect too. It's on the left hash. Here we go. Tinoco to take the lead. Snap is back, hold is up, and the kick is wide left. was about to say, that's one thing we haven't done all season is taking a lead with a field goal, but it'll escape us here too, and the defense will take the field again with 7:54 left to go in the fourth. So here we go. Defense has come up with a stop here. Quarterback gives it that. It's a give to their number 5, and he's going to pull defenders forward for a gain of 11 on the play. He's going to pick up a first down. And McGregor's going to be able to run some clock here, which is all they want to do. McGregor would like nothing more than to go down with a 2-point lead, punch in a touchdown, make it a 2-possession game with not much time on the clock. Defense has got to get a stop here. They're spread out this time. Twins left, twins right. It's a give up the middle. Great job by Bogosh there, and to bring him down fast too. Milton there to kind of set the edge. We're approaching 7 minutes to play in the fourth. Down by 2. 2nd and 9 for McGregor from their own 30-yard line. That's behind the line of scrimmage. It looked, yeah. Still, though, as a defender, go dive on that. You never know. Maybe you can fool the refs. I think these refs are foolable. Okay, here we go. 3rd and 9. Huge play here. You don't even want to give up much yardage at all.
Go back to the previous spot at the 30 and play 3rd and 9.
We're doing a lot of movement here. Let's see if we get a push here at the line. We're only sending 3. We got 3 down linemen. We're sending, and Lopez Rodriguez, that was a stunt. He came around, and he didn't slow down at all, and he couldn't afford to because the quarterback would have stepped into his throw. 7-yard loss on the play, sacked by Lopez Rodriguez. Great play. I was about to say, who knows if we'll get a rush out of these 3. I know. We do now. Okay. You got Cohen and Lucky back with their heels on our own 45. The snap's kind of high, but we're not sending anyone.
Oh, somebody.
And Cohen caught it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's another flag. There might be 30 yards of penalties.
Well,
well,
yeah, we'll see what these penalties are here. That was weird. The ball played tricks on me because I thought he was going to the left side, and then Cohen caught it on this side. And we were blocking kind of on that side, and so then, yeah. And then somebody came in and actually hit Cohen at the end, but it was Bogosh, I think, blocked into him, so I think that could have been another penalty that they called. If these were 2 dead ball penalties, they're both assessed. Okay. But then they're saying after another one, so that's 30 yards that they're going to assess. But
prior to the next snap.
And based on where we are, it can be fully assessed because 15 yards isn't going to get us to the 30.
31 yard line.
Yeah. So we'll be on the 16-yard line when this is all said and done. Part of that, though, too, is just Cohen being able to field that in a lot of traffic, because there was a lot of traffic back there deep. Because if you remember, it was a high snap. We didn't really push, so there was plenty of time for them to...
And when the dust settles, except
they want us to... These referees count slow. So here comes the other 15.
The other 15.
Another 15.
Hey, let's go, Troy!
That's a dead ball foul.
Yeah, the horse collar was a live ball, and the other was a dead ball after the fact. So it's another 15, and I think that's what they're talking over now. And I think McGregor coaches even knew that. Like, they knew one was live and one was after the play. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, the dead ball foul is administered.
There you go. Kyle called it a minute ago. We got it down there. It just took us a minute.
So the ball is at the 16-yard line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're starting at the 16. They would have been better off kneeling it. We're running the bunch formation to the right, and it's a pass back to McMurtry. Okay, so here we go, folks. We ran a tight bunch formation out to the right, and that's a dangerous play because of all the playmakers out there, but one that we snuck onto the field without a lot of people knowing was Hunter Fryman. Catches it, throws it back, throws it through traffic. Like, he had to kind of throw it through traffic, and he had to throw it quick because all the pursuit was about to come that way. Back to McMurtry. So McMurtry's caught one of his own passes this year. I think he prefers to catch someone else's. So a touchdown play, and we're going to go for 2 here to go up a full. Well, this is what analytics would tell you here, is to, especially if it ends up being more scores here. And that's Creel. Creel runs a perfect route there. I know I'm yelling here, folks, but Trojans are excited. We got a lead here. So one thing he did there is he pushes into the end zone hard, gets him on his heels, pushes inside, and then goes outside. So yeah, we get the 2-point conversion there. Yeah, so we should be up 6 now. We'll I'm sure they'll get the scoreboard reset here, but so the score, Troy 43, McGregor 37. It's still a 1-score game, folks. 5:48 left to play, still plenty of time. And now I wonder if we do one of those kicks. I wouldn't be surprised if we try to place this kick maybe between the 20-25-yard line, right down the middle of the field. They have an interesting setup on their kickoff return. I don't quite understand it. It doesn't really play well for setting a wall, for recovering an onside, for setting up something second level. We'll see. It's going to be deep, and it's going to be fielded at the 12-yard line by McGregor. And he's going to be pushed out right at the 30-yard line. So McGregor's going to have it with decent field position based on fielding it at the 12. About an 18-yard return on the play.
The free kick, excuse me, and returns it to the 29-yard line. First and 10 for the
So one thing I want to see the defense do again is kind of play like they did the last couple series, to be honest. They've had 2 good stops recently, but one was just the last time, and you saw with the way that Lopez Rodriguez comes out and gets the sack on that one play when we only have 3 down linemen. But yeah. So Jezik out for a play, Ledbetter in at safety. Looks like a little bit of confusion in the backfield. And what I was talking about is, like, one thing I would love to see the defense do now, Jezik coming back on the field now, had a helmet malfunction, but he's back on, is how Lopez Rodriguez pursued that sack with just that reckless abandonment that we saw the defense play with early in the season. To play fearless, I want them to fly around here, and you saw it there. McGregor kind of had a busted play in the backfield, but we didn't slow down. We all pursued. We got a short tackle for loss. It's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And McGregor jumped again. Yeah. But I thought maybe one of their interior linemen might have jumped too. And we're always up here. We can't ever tell. I can't tell if they're doing a silent cadence or a snap or if they're calling it out. But whatever it is, they've had a lot of those tonight. They've had 4 or 5 false starts. And this one's a costly one because it's gonna take away a positive play. Yeah.
Second down and 16.
So this is 2nd and 16, under 5 to play. The clock running again, which is right because it was based off the penalty once they wound the clock again. And it looks like we're bringing pressure. And we did. Milton with a sack from the backside, and he saw it. He had to curl wide to get to it, and then when he saw it, he just bear hugs you. He just comes over the top. Loss of 5 on the play, so McGregor going backwards here. And the clock's running here, so this is huge. And McGregor's taking a timeout, which is really what they need to do here. We're going to stay here. We're going to kind of talk about the defense here because we were giving them a hard time the first half and even into the third quarter. There were a lot of arm tackles. There were a lot of just blown coverages. There just wasn't anything that they hadn't put their stamp on the game. They have in the fourth quarter here. This will be their 3rd stop in a row if they come up with it. And in critical moments, this was a 2-possession game right before the 3rd quarter ended. The defense had to come back and get us into the game like this. And to be able to put it away with a sack on the last series to force a punt, and then here a tackle for loss, and then a sack, and then here on 3rd down, this is when you bring all-out pressure. If you're the defense, yes.
Back to play with the McGregor Bulldogs in possession. 3rd down and 19.
So here we go. So after the timeout, 3rd and long, 4:14 left to go in the 4th. They're going to send a man in motion, and now they're going to run, and Milton's running with him, but it doesn't matter because Cohen caught it, but Milton staying with him the whole time was part of it. I think we saw that. I bet you anything the coaches called that out at halftime of how that could have been a touchdown in the first half, and the discipline that you have to make that you have to execute within that play, Milton has to come off like he's coming hard. He has to read instinctually that happening and that blow-by the quarterback, and then to get back into coverage. I think he would have been in position. The kick is up, and it's good. It would have been, I think he would have been able to get his hands up because he would have been able to read the eyes, but it didn't matter at that point. Cohen read that like a book. Man, defense has stepped it up. Defense, I'm talking to you here. Do this in the first quarter. Don't scare us. These fans come to watch you. Let's do this in the first quarter next week. Yeah, when they needed it the most, in the fourth quarter. Like three possessions here in the fourth quarter, 3 stops, 2 sacks, an interception return for a touchdown, 4 or 5 tackles for loss. Also, it can't be understated what the defensive line is doing in terms of their blitz schemes and everything. It's caused false starts all throughout the night. And it cost a critical one there that pulled that play back from 3rd and short to 2nd and long, and then it led to the Milton sack, and then, of course, the pick 6. So we have some breathing room here. So going back to, as time expires in the 3rd quarter, 22 unanswered points by us.
Number 40 field for the Bulldogs. Free kick.
Yeah.
And return to the 32-yard line. So it's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs with 3 minutes and 55 seconds left.
Yeah,
in the ball
so
game.
2-possession game here. McGregor's going to have to move the ball with a little more tempo than they've been accustomed to all night. They've really had, up until the 4th quarter, they've been able to control the tempo. But we're going to kind of be controlling it here just based on, we know that they're probably going to be in passing downs for the most part. So we'll see if they keep 22 in for pass protection or not. They run a man in motion. And Valdez. He's got sticky fingers because that catch was not an easy catch. He caught it. He kind of had to contort his body to catch it. Woo! Man, when the defense flips the switch, boy, do they flip the switch. And this is, I know that this is what the coaches will tell them after the game, but like, they play defense like they played here in the 4th quarter. We'll win a playoff game next week. But they've got to play all 4 quarters like that. So whatever it is, they ate their Wheaties between the 3rd and the 4th quarter. Whatever it was. Halftime adjustments, and we talked about that.
Timeout is called by...
We're going to take a commercial break with a timeout here, and we'll come back for more action.
Spradley Properties is a full-service real estate company specializing in brokerage, property management.
Count on 40 years of heating and cooling expertise with Randolph Heating and Air. Upgrade to a more efficient system to improve your home's value. You can depend on our team to provide you with a complete inspection of your system, including your ductwork, and give you a free estimate on new systems. We are an authorized dealer for Goodman, Amana, Heil, and Tempstar. You'll get fast service, even same-day service when you need it. Trust us. We guarantee your satisfaction. Call now.
Okay, we got a lot of seniors here. I'm going to try to call them out. Let's see, we got, it's going to be a give to Ledbetter up the middle. Got Mullen and McKissick out here to the right. Let's see, who else over?
Ledbetter carries the ball for the Trojan. He advances it to the 13.
So a pickup of 2 on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8. I can't tell for sure here, but I think we might have an all-senior unit out there. I think we have an all-senior unit. This is cool. And this is going to be a give to Ledbetter, and he's going to try to squeak through the right side.
Okay, Ledbetter carries the ball on that play for the Trojan.
So we have some different pass catchers that could release here. You got Milton kind of standing up there on the right.
Flores on the tackle.
Let's see what we do.
No gain on the play. 3rd down and 8.
So Fryman in at quarterback to get a snap. He's already got 1 touchdown pass in the game. Looks like this is going to be a pass play here. Milton shifts in motion. It's going to be a give to Ledbetter around the left side. He's going to be stopped.
Gage Ledbetter has the ball for the Trojans. Timeout is being called by McGregor.
We're going to go to commercial and we'll come back. This will be pretty cool, folks. Reed catch him out to kick the PAT. Or I'm sorry, the field goal, which would put the final points of this senior class on the books. Here it goes. The snap is back. The hold is good. The kick is up and perfect. Yeah, Reed wanted us to know my leg's okay. But that's a cool moment. He's going to be able to kind of put the last points on the board there. I say that. We could have a pick six here.
So that makes the score 53 for 37.
Yeah, 2 plays ago, or actually that last series, at least for the last 3 plays, because I can't remember if we picked up 1 first down. It was an all-senior crew out there, which is really cool. So go back and watch that at about the 2.5-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Well, the team just wanted to keep us on our toes all night, but man, like when they flip the switch, and the defense especially, because the defense and special teams own the second half. Defense and special teams. Here we go. Tinoco set to kick off from the left hash. 39-7 run. Oh. Okay, footballs are bouncing off the press box. These cheerleaders have arms too. They want to get out there and take some snaps. And Bogosh gets all the way down there. Bogosh got down there and was able to break down on the kick. That's another great placed kick by Tinoco. But great pursuit by defense.
Bogosh had like a GPS working. I mean,
yeah.
Number 40 for the Bulldogs fields the kick and returns it to.
So that brings it to 2 minutes exactly left to play in the 4th.
6.
We're going to wrap up at about 10:30. I think that's when we wrapped up last week, or just shy of it. McGregor in shotgun, and they're gonna pass here, and they get it out to the flat. Pickup of about 3 on the play. Gooch on the stop.
Pass was completed to Sean Coleman. Brought Gooch defended a pickup of 3.
Yeah, Evan Mullen out there now too. I see Hill playing safety. And are we going to get the safety? Garrison was back there. Gooch again on the tackle there. I thought Garrison had him there. I think this is number 40 down here, Caden Schneider, corner here. And he's in good coverage there. And they're trying to go down the far right side. going to bring up fourth, and this is just going to be more senior work here in a minute. Or we might actually take victory formation. It depends on what we want to do here.
At the 30-yard line.
There it is. Is he going to get a sack? Oh, it was so close.
They didn't pass the line of scrimmage.
Yep, flag.
So it'll be our ball.
Yeah, so intentional grounding on the McGregor quarterback there on 4th and long. So ball didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, and he was out of the pocket, then he was in the pocket, then he was out of the pocket again, then he was in the pocket again. Like, we were chasing him all around. I thought we had him on a, kind of tripped him up there in the back.
The ball goes over on down to the Trojans.
Here we go, and I think
33 seconds left in the ball game.
Okay, this isn't an all-senior crew because you got Fryman out there now, but I think besides him, it's mostly. Here we go, offense gets set. It's going to be a give to Ledbetter up the middle. He's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. The line got a good push there, though. Going to see what we do here. We're going to take our time. Probably won't get this play off until under the 1 minute mark.
Well, this.
So here we go. Trojans lined up. It's going to be another give to Ledbetter, and he's got. He tiptoed down the sideline. Did he stay in? They did. He called it in. The side judge was watching him over there, and I saw it. I couldn't tell who was out there. I think that was maybe Mullen and Lane, but they created a wedge over there on the side. Some celebrating going down on there on the sideline. This is so fun, y'all, to watch. These seniors deserve it. And I think outside of Fryman out there, everybody else is a senior.
No. We had some JV linemen in there.
Oh, there were some JV linemen. Okay, so I forgot, we did get the rosters for all of that, so we'll make sure to have those ready. And the kick is up and good.
Is successful by Angel Sanoso, holds by Joseph McMurphy. So that takes us 4-60 for the Trojans, 37.
So PAT is up and good, and we've scored 60 for the 4th time this year.
In the ball game.
42 and. All right.
46, I'm sorry, we had 14 in half.
14, 46, yeah. We had 14 in the first quarter. Didn't score any. First two tries. Yeah, I know. Well, I know people are going to hang around. They're going to watch the senior walk on the field. Guarantee you the senior walk feels pretty good tonight after coming back like this. Here we go, 47 seconds left to go. What? If you're watching on Trojan Nation right now, watch the kickoff unit. Watch how quick they fly down. Watch third from the bottom, Bogosh here. Watch him, he's walking up. And then watch them all, though. Watch them. The ball's bouncing around. And then look at us. And Tinoco's going to get the tackle. Tanoco with the tackle there. Okay, Kyle called our attention to all that just so we could see something we hadn't seen before. Oh, wow. Man, if you get a still frame photo of that, he literally, and part of it is just the momentum that player was coming with, but what a play. Remember, we've seen him carry the ball this year. Okay.
Like you say, these guys
They deserve this. They deserve, and what they also deserve is to flip the switch sooner. They deserve to not let that be an Achilles heel going into next week, and I don't think it will. I think tonight hopefully serves as like a wake-up call. And I'll say this too, kudos for McGregor for coming in here and playing hard all game long. They have a lot of seniors in here now too. There
you go, guys.
And that's probably the last play of the game, and we have some tackles on the play. That was Buckmeyer on the tackle. Yeah, Buckmeyer, Huggins in there, Garrison on the line right now. Okay, they're going to actually get one more play. Let's see. We're going to have one more stop here. Probably going to be a run. Sell out for it. It is. It's going to be a give around the side. And that's the game, folks.
And the final score is 60-37 for McGregor.
So we're going to stay here, and we're going to stay all the way through the school song, and then we'll probably hang on and talk playoffs just for a minute. So we're going to let all this soak in. We're playoff bound here, folks.
9-1.
These student athletes began practice last August. They worked
It wasn't too ugly in the second half.
4 long months to represent their On behalf of the entire Press Box crew, this is the voice of Trojan football reminding you, spend time with your kids. It's the best investment you'll ever make. Good evening.
Well, Brett, McGregor came out. I mean, hey, they just wanted to finish strong. There you are, Brett. But we came out, 2 quick offensive drives and scores. I mean, very quickly. McGregor settled in, and they sort of took control of the game the remainder of the first quarter and all the second quarter.
Most of the third.
Yeah.
Our adjustments we made adjustments for sure, but they didn't really sink in until kind of late in the third. And then when we decided we wanted to play, especially defense, game over. Like, when they flipped the switch there, and part of it too, you can't, like, I always forget about the third phase. 2 kickoff returns.
200 yards worth.
Yeah, back to back on their kicks. We held them one time in between, but yeah, I mean, it's such a quick strike, get back in it sort of thing, and you're going to need that in the playoffs to feel that you're never out of it. But we've got to come out stronger in all 3 phases from the get-go, because that's what playoff ball is, and we're going to learn that really quickly next week. And we know our opponent, Yoakum, did win tonight. I think it ended up being like 40-12 or something. Yes. And Yoakum is in a district. They've been battle tested. They've played the number 1 and number 2 team in the state, Columbus and Hitchcock, respectively. So, yeah, it's going to be. But we're in the playoffs. We're in the playoffs, and we've known that, but it's starting to sink in a little bit. I think for the players tonight, it starts sinking in when you kind of, there's ebbs and flows to this game, and it's your last night, especially for all the seniors out here, knowing that they got the senior walk coming up here in a minute. I mean, this is a really cool thing. If you're here, you're going to stick around and kind of watch it. I know I'm going to. Yeah, this team has given us so much in 10 games, and to know that there's more to come is just a testament to the kids, their parents, the staff, everybody who's kind of made it work. And they're so fun to watch. The product was great again tonight. There were bits and pieces missing kind of in the first half, but when we decide to flip the switch, we look good in all 3 phases. The defense looked so good there in the fourth quarter.
We will play music for you so you can walk
we
the
noticed special teams were going to be special in game 1 of the season. I mean, if you have a special teams return, you know, if you have 1, maybe 2 in a season, that's something big. When you have 2 in a row, and you've talked about it many times, we take so much pride in special teams. We take so much pride, and when we get an interception, it's like our blockers, very seldom have we got called for a hold or a block in the back.
And it's not because they're not blocking. They're engaged. They're blocking. Like, go back and watch the film. Like, on any sort of, like, interception return, watch how quickly everybody, even if you're within arm's reach of the defender that picked it off, like, watch how quickly they turn into, we're getting that ball into the end zone. Like, that's the goal, like, whenever it happens. And part of that is just the mindset that, and they flip the switch so seamlessly, like, within a play like that. I just want them to come out strong like that, and I think they will. I think next week, I think we're going to see, they're going to continue to, and you see all the seniors walking onto the field here. This is really cool.
But you talked about that on that punt return by Cohen. That it was Cohen, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We realized the punt. We have 2 returners back. Lucky realized Cohen was going to catch it. They had 1 gunner getting down there quick. He knew, hey, Cohen's going to catch it. He immediately started blocking before Cohen caught it, and that's what sprung it. I mean, that's just, I don't know how much time they spend on special teams, but you would think they spend a whole day of practice on it.
Yeah. So going into the play, like, to spin it forward to the playoffs and special teams is an example. Like, all the things that say we did wrong tonight, like, are things that we've done right before. So it's like we can revert back to, like, good practices there. I remember coming out of Salado the first game of the year, Lucky had a couple red zone fumbles, and he's been high and tied since. Yes. He muffed a couple punt and a kick tonight, but he he did such a great, he always does such a great job catching it in rhythm, like in the passing game and everything. So like some of what happened tonight, I think, was literally us getting this out of our system for the, in a large part. But yeah, I think we're gonna carry it in.
But folks, we're gonna have to mute this so we don't worry about copyright infringements. But the camera feed will stay on. All right, folks, that's the final time you'll see these seniors walk the field at Troy High School. But as well as memories they created for themselves, they created many for us. We will see y'all next week. We'll get the location posted as soon as we can. But Brett, any parting words?
I'm speechless. That was so cool to watch. Yeah, no, I don't have any words. I'll save them all for next week, but this team's got more than 5 minutes to play next week. So God bless them, and yeah, God bless Troy. We'll see you next week.
All right, folks, this is Kyle, Robin, and Brett from Troy High School saying we will see you. Could be Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I don't know for sure.
Somewhere in Texas.
Brett said somewhere in Texas, but that's a big area.